So, yeah, welcome back once again, everyone. Good morning. I hope you all have got the time to revise the core topics what we discussed as part of our day one and day two session. Today, the day three, we are going to. The people who are not able to hear anything, I would request you to please rejoin because most of them are able to hear to me. So just try to rejoin again, okay? So right now, what we are going to discuss is everyone. We will be majorly focusing upon like how our lang chain is going to help. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the lang chain concept, everyone. That is the primary topic we are going to take it into consideration, and then we will be able to move ahead with the lang chain concept. So that's something which we are going to focus upon today. What is LangChain? How LangChain is going to play an important role? Okay, what are the important things in the LangChain? So all these things we are going to cover as part of our today's discussion. And as you know, every session we make sure that definitely hands-on activity will be taken up. So as part of that, we are also going to do a hands-on activity with regards to what exactly is LangChain. Okay, first we will understand the basic theoretical overview of it, right? Like what exactly is lang chain, how it is going to play an important role. So first we'll try to understand them. Once we are clear with that, right? Once it is clear with that, then what we are going to do is like the moment we are done with the theoretical part, we will move on to the hands-on activity, like whatever we have covered in theoretical part, we will do the practical part of it so that you all will get a broader exposure with regards to it, and then we can be able to leverage it in a better manner. So that is the overall idea, everyone. With that, we will be able to get started and we will be able to move forward and take up all the remaining concepts. Okay, that's going to be the best idea with which we all will be able to move ahead with. Okay, so now without any further delay, let me go ahead and first explain to you the concepts of line chain, and then we will be able to move ahead with. Yeah, Veera, I see that your hand been raised. You have any questions specifically for me right now? I'm not able to hear you if you're talking, Veera. Okay, cool. No worries. Maybe you can let me know later. Yeah, Una, go ahead.
Prashant, I have only one question.
Hmm.
So the last week I missed the second class, but I think you just posted the code in the chat. So when I was
Yeah, you
accessing
need
the
that code.
recording,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I have to retype everything. So I was thinking how I can access the chat. Sorry, that code that you put it in the chat. Is there a way that I could
Yeah.
access it?
Okay, I will upload it in the LMS portal every time then. Okay. In that
Okay,
way it
thank
will
you
be
so much.
easier. No problem. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, over to you, Rashmi. Quickly, everyone. Rashmi, I'm not able to hear you if you're able to hear me. Rashmi, I would request you to rejoin, please. Hey, the people who are facing some problem, right? Like where you're not able to hear me. I gave you the chance, Veera. Go ahead. But I'm not able to hear you, unfortunately. But let me answer here. Actually, I gave you a chance, but I'm not able to hear. Maybe I don't know why. After that, you share the code info. Yeah, I'll share the code right now. The people who have asked me, who are requesting the code, which we have discussed in the last class, right? Just give me some time. I'll share it again to all of you so that you will not face any concerns. Okay? Don't worry about it. I will reshare the code one more time. Go ahead. You can practice that. No worries. The people who are facing difficulties, I'll share the code. Okay? And within this class only, I will share one more time so that it will be easier for you all. Yeah, go ahead, Anirudhu.
Hi, sir. Good morning. So, the last two classes, what I did is I went to Google Colab and I made three agents. So, because
Excellent.
I am a tester, I made one which,
Hmm.
with the help of
Hmm.
Jira Story, will provide manual
Hmm.
test cases. The
Correct.
next agent will take those test cases as input and will
Correct.
provide the automation script of Selenium on the basis of that. and the third one
Yes.
is logger agent, which we did last class. So that is working fine.
Yeah.
What I want
Awesome.
to learn further is like how do I establish an environment so that I can execute that within the Google Colab. For example, import Maven, for example, or
Oh,
create
no,
the
no, those
environment.
things will not be available. What you have to do is today, anyhow, I'll explain the Visual Studio Code. Okay. In
Okay.
the Visual Studio Code, you can take a proper IDE, create a front end for the same, and then you can integrate it with the Aniruddha. Okay. I will
Oh,
explain that today. So that you'll get
okay.
some idea and you can work around with those things also. Hmm?
Okay. Thank you. Thank
Cool.
you.
Good, good. Yeah, Deepthi, over to you.
Hello, is
Yeah,
it
yes,
audible?
Deepthi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
morning, Jashan.
Good
Uh,
morning, Deepthi.
Thanks for the last week content. Actually,
Yeah.
I developed a multi-agent code reviewer, okay, because I'm a,
Awesome. Good, good.
technical background
Mm,
person.
mm,
So I
mm.
created a, code reviewer agent, okay. I would like to upload in this Edureka so that you can see it once and you can suggest if I can improve.
Okay,
Uh,
do one thing, Deepthi. Just
yeah,
share it to me in the chat here to me. Okay. Any
okay.
document you have, download it. I can put it up because in Edureka I get lots of things. So
Okay.
in order for your chance to come, it will take some time. Better in the class itself only you can share it to me. Maybe I can have a look into it and then I can share the comments to you, Deepthi.
Okay. Can I share that Google Collabs link or I should share the
Anything is
code?
fine. Anything is
Anything
fine
is
for me. Make sure
okay.
that I have a view access. That's it. Okay.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Deepthi.
Yeah. Thank
Thank you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One last time to you, Veera. I'm unfortunately not able to hear you, Veera. But I understand your question. I've seen it in the chat. If that is the thing, I can answer. But just meanwhile, you can just check it out if your settings. If not, put it in the chat. I will check it out. Okay. Because I have given you, but I don't know why I'm not able to hear. Okay. Cool. Then let's proceed further, everyone. The people who had that common question, right? I think 3 to 4 people who had a common question that you want to take the code and utilize it. Don't worry, I will share the code again. Okay. Today I'll be taking care of sending that code again or a document which I have shared last time to all of you. I will be sending it over to you so that you can all be able to utilize it. Okay. Okay, then everyone. Let me quickly go ahead. Let me share my screen. Now we will explore LangChain, everyone. Okay, we'll try to understand what LangChain is and how it is going to play a important role. So that's what we are going to discuss. Okay, everyone. So again, welcome back once again, everyone. Today we are going to see the people who are sorry, the people are asking me questions about the file to be shared. Right? Don't worry, I will share the file. Let us focus on today's topic. Somewhere in between, I get time. Right? I have to go back, get the file what I shared to all of you in the last class. I will again reshare it. One more thing, I will also upload it in the LMS. Okay, so that if it is required, you can all be able to utilize it. And don't worry, by any chance if you have missed any code, always in the next session you can ask me. I will always be able to share it with you. It's not like in one class I completed the code, in the next class I will not even talk about it. No, if you are feeling that you're not having that code, absolutely fine, so that I can upload it and I can be able to share it with all of you, everyone. Okay, so don't worry about that part. So let me go ahead. Okay, so one important thing I want to let you know is today, as we are going to talk about the LangChain, everyone. So one of the important point to be noted here is we are going to discuss about the recruitment agent, everyone. Okay, using LangChain, our main focus will be on the recruitment bottleneck. That is the primary target we are going to have today. So the point here, if you see the recruitment bottleneck which is there, right, it just talks about, I mean, what we're going to do here is, first we need to understand what is the main problem today, everyone. The main problem with which the HR teams face during the recruitment is HR has to go through a lot of job applications and it becomes really very hard to manage, right? And then there are a really lot of challenges also present here, everyone. Too many resumes. Going through a high volume of resumes for one job role takes a lot of time for them. And then sometimes we also miss the best people in the process. Because of the huge workload, HR may skip or they may overlook the most suitable candidates. So basically, if you see the problem here, HR is really overloaded with a lot of resumes. It takes actually too much time for them. And sometimes the right candidates don't even get noticed in the process, everyone. And I mean, that is the challenge currently. I mean, that is a challenge, let's say, currently, which we are facing as part of the recruitment bottleneck as of now. Okay. Now, what we need to do here is, if you see, as a solution, today we are going to work on this. Okay. Today we are going to, we are anyhow discussing theoretically right now. The same will be applicable when we do the things practically today. So what we are trying to think of is, why can't we try to overcome this recruitment bottleneck problem with some solution in AI? So now we are going to talk about a solution where the recruitment problem which is there, right? We are going to handle that recruitment problem using the AI and LangChain. Okay, we will use the AI and then the LangChain. So the main idea here is, instead of HR manually going through resumes, so we are going to build really an AI powered resume screening application where the AI itself will automatically check the resume against the job requirement or the job description we are going to provide it. So it should be able to identify from there, and this resume screening agent should be able to help the HR. So today we are targeting the talent acquisition and HR domain, where we are going to create a resume screening agent where it is going to help the HRs to save a really quite a good amount of time. Okay. So, and you see that here the step-by-step approach what we are going to follow today will be the LangChain loaders, right? What will happen here is, first we will take the resume in whatever format it may be, either PDF or a document or a text format. Okay, so we pull out the text from the, let's say, whatever the resume you are going to provide it, right? So LangChain loaders will be there where it will take the resume in whatever format we want, and then it will pull out the relevant content out of it. Then we will have a prompt template, everyone. The prompt template is going to prepare us for the job description and resume text so that the AI knows what to compare. So the prompt template will give the guidance to the AI agent that what it has to compare. Okay, you have to compare what? One is your job description. Okay, so you have your job description and then you have your resume. Now please compare how much amount of similarity is there between the description and resume. So do that comparative analysis, and that will be done with the help of the prompt template, everyone. And then you have on the other hand is chat Google generative AI. Basically here, as an AI model, we are going to check whether if the resume matches the job role or not, and that will be done with the help of the Google Gemini. You remember last time we discussed, we were integrating it with the Google Gemini API key. Same process here also. Okay. So what are we going to do here? So in this case, we are going to integrate like the chat Google generative AI, that the AI will ensure or it will check whether if the resume is going to match the job role or not. So that matching similarity, how much is there, dissimilarity, all those things are going to be taken care by the chat Google generative AI, everyone. Okay. Then you have the STR output parser. See, STR output parser means it will clean and organize the response whatever the AI is giving. So basically, this STR output parser which is there, the very purpose of it is to structure the response, everyone. Okay, it will go ahead and it is going to structure whatever the response it is giving. So basically, rather than giving the response in a very clumsy or in a very messy manner, instead what the STR output parser will try to do is, everyone, it will give you the structured response. I mean, whatever the response you will get it from these LLMs, it will be in a proper format so that you can utilize that format and can take it further. That is your STR output parser here, everyone. Okay, where it will try to give you a structured response in order to get an effective output. Then you have here your LLM chain. So LLM chain here will try to connect all the pieces, everyone. Okay, LLM chain will try to connect all the pieces like your resume, your job description, your AI, that is nothing but your Gemini, and then your output parser to get a structured response. So all of them will be in a proper pattern, like one by one it will be able to take it further. For that, LLM chain will play an important role. And finally, you have a Streamlit. Okay, if you are aware about it, Streamlit, everyone, Streamlit means now whatever we are creating it in the Google Colab, let's say. In the Google Colab, we don't have a front end, everyone. Front end means a user interface where you can interact with. Now today also you are interacting everyone, but you are interacting it in the Google Colab. You are running that particular code, you are interacting with the Google Colab, and you are trying to get whatever the response you want. That is what as of today we are trying to work upon. Correct? But what is a Streamlit here? Streamlit will give you that web interface. Okay, Streamlit will give you that web interface. Okay, or like today we are talking about HR, right? So Streamlit will give a web interface for HR so that they can upload the resumes. Okay, they can upload the resume, and ultimately they can be able to capture whatever the results they want. Okay, if you see here, what is going to happen in this case is you have a Streamlit where it is going to act like a web interface, everyone, for the HR. Okay, so that what you can do, you can easily be able to upload your resume and can see the results in a better manner. So Streamlit means what? Streamlit is a Python web interface. That means you can interact like a UI, the user interface which are there, right? You can interact with it and you can be able to play around. So this is the approach, everyone. When you talk about the recruitment bottleneck, I mean, these are the approach which we will be discussing today as part of our solution when we are going to create it practically, right? These are the major things we are going to cover across, and then we will be able to move forward with. Okay, so basically Streamlit is nothing but it's a web interface for the users to go ahead and then try to interact with. That is the major idea we need to be here aware about when we focus on the Streamlit part. Okay, so ultimately what we do here, everyone, what is that we are going to create using LangChain? Resumes will keep going, AI will check them, result will come out very clearly, HR will just review who is the best candidate. That's it. With that, your entire process is set to be established in this case. So this is what we are going to cover as part of our today's discussion practically, where you can create a resume screening agent which can help all the HRs to go ahead, filter the resume as per against the job description, and you can see how much similarity is there with the profile which has been taken up and then the job description which has been provided. So that is what we will all be working upon. So we have understood the challenge in the recruitment bottleneck and then the related solution what we are going to work upon. Okay, so this is what we will be today targeting. Now, let me take you to the next important thing here is, so now if you see in the components and modules, so the very first thing is let's understand what is LangChain. Okay, the very first thing, what is LangChain actually? See, basically, when you talk about the LangChain here, everyone, see, LangChain in this case is actually, it's a tool, everyone. Okay, LangChain is a tool. So whatever the LangChain we have, LangChain is a tool which is totally open source. Okay, you can say this as the tool, or you can also call it as a framework. That's absolutely fine. Okay, you can call the LangChain as a tool, or you can call the LangChain as an open source framework. Okay, whatever you wish to call. But ultimately, today, if there is a LangChain, so this LangChain is actually helping all of us to easily to go ahead, and you can easily build all your applications, okay, by integrating, okay, by integrating with LLMs like ChatGPT or Gemini in the market. Okay, today, now, like if you see in the last previous two classes what we had, we were able to integrate with LLMs, right? We were all able to integrate with LLMs and we got the relevant responses being generated from there. Now today that integration is happening successfully. Let's say you are creating your agent. Now your agent is getting intelligence from your LLM. Doesn't matter what LLM you are using. either GPT, Gemini, or whatever you are using, that's okay. Okay. But ultimately, agent getting integrated with LLM using API, all these concepts which you see here, this architecture is totally supported by LangChain framework or a LangChain tool. It is all because of LangChain only these things are happening successfully. Imagine for a minute if LangChain is not there, this integration wouldn't have been so smooth like how we are trying to interact and get all the results everyone. So LangChain plays a very, very important role to make sure that all these things happen in a better manner. Like for an example, I just discussed about the resume screening application. That is nothing but the resume screening AI agent. Now, even for that, when we are going to build, okay, so what happens? The LangChain will come into the picture. So LangChain will say, hey, you go ahead and try to load your resume. Okay, you load your resume. So right, you can create your prompt, because prompt will be nothing but the instructions which we want to give it, like which we want to give it to the AI agent, and then you're going to connect with the API. And whether you are going to connect the API with Google Gemini or any LLM. So now all these three things, if it is really going to be done in a very smooth manner, then definitely your LangChain is going to play here a very, very important role. So your LangChain here is going to play a very important role to go ahead, load your resume, create your own instructions in the form of a prompt, connect with API, whatever you want with LLM to integrate with, and then you do your activity. Now, all these three things, if you want to make it run in a very smooth manner, your LangChain will come into the picture. So LangChain is going to play an important role to ultimately oversee that your AI agent is running successfully without any constraints or without any difficulties, everyone. That is the main idea behind it. Now within LangChain, right, within LangChain, there are three important things you need to understand it. One is the modular component. Modular component means what? Modular component means, so I mean, you need to give some parameters, like let's say prompt templates, if you have any. Okay, you need to give some chains, or you need to give some agents. Okay, so I mean, without these, right, without these, I mean, you cannot be able to build your flexible AI applications. If you really want to create an AI applications, definitely these are your important parameters you need to consider. It may be your prompt, it may be your chain, or it may be your agents. All of these are going to connect in one unit and give us whatever the result we want. And that is the reason LLM applications will be successful, only we have them. And LangChain provides you all of them as one of the component so that we can utilize it in a better manner. Okay. Now integration capabilities, everyone. LangChain also has a great capability for integrating it. Like you can say, you can work smoothly with different types of resume files. Let's say you can upload PDF file, or you can upload the Word file, or you can upload the text file. No matter whatever format you're using, the app can always handle it. It is all because of the LangChain, because LangChain is having a great capability to integrate and then take it further. So LangChain is one of the framework in your AI agents, everyone, which you can try to explore and see what are the best things it is trying to provide to us. Then language support. Okay. So like again, LangChain has a lot of good Python libraries, which we are going to learn today practically. So LangChain today has a lot of great Python libraries, everyone. Okay. And it is also very developer friendly. So you can just make sure that we are expanding the resume scanner easily. I mean, ultimately, you don't need to write for everything the code. There are a very good Python libraries in the LangChain. We can utilize those Python libraries within the LangChain, and we can be able to effectively use in whatever way it can be done. So basically, these are the three key features we need to understand. So ultimately, what I want to say you is that everyone, LangChain will never be visible to you. LangChain is like a backbone that organizes everything for you. Either it may be loading the resume, either it may be integrating those resumes with your LLMs, or either preparing them and making sure that your app is running smoothly. Today, if your AI agent application, if it is running smoothly, it is all because of the LangChain which is sitting at the back end, or it's a backbone for all of us to make sure that our AI agent is running in a really smooth manner, everyone. That is the beauty of the LangChain. It may not be visible, but it does everything. It organizes. As I said, right, you can load your resume. Why I'm talking about resume? Because that is the main target we are going to today focus upon as a case study. That is the reason. Okay. So you load any of your resume, it will try to create a prompt, and then it will give you the API. Okay, whatever the API you want to integrate with. So all this integration is today happening successfully. Why? Because your LangChain plays an important role. And within the LangChain, you see that you can give some components like prompt template, chain, and then agents. You can give all of them so that they can integrate and can work as one unit for your LLM application which you're building. Integration capabilities, if you see, I mean, you can work with the different applications here, like you can take your PDF, Word, text, it can support a lot of great things. I mean, no matter what format you use, the app can easily be able to handle it. Okay, and then you have the language support. So the language support will be really helpful for us in the Python libraries. I mean, it's really going to be developer friendly, so you can use your Python libraries, which anyhow you will learn practically when I'm going to explain to you all. That's how you can use your Python library and make this development process much easier, everyone. Okay, so that is the important thing which we all need to be here aware about. So we have understood what is the application we are going to build today, and then we are right now getting to know what is exactly LangChain. So now I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to pick one picture. So I'm going to pick one picture for the LangChain architecture. Give me 1 minute. Let me see, where is this picture. Yeah, I think I got the architecture here. So let me quickly go ahead and show you. See, this is the architecture, everyone. Okay, this is good to know, because at least you'll understand how the LangChain is going to work and what is its main significance. So, okay. Now, if you observe here very clearly, this is how your LangChain architecture works, everyone. So be a little bit careful with this one, because if you know this, right? I mean, like, things would become much easier for you to correlate when we do the things practically. Okay. So let's say we are talking about the LangChain over here. Okay, so now what we are trying to do is, first step is your input. So your input in this case is your HR uploads the resume. Your HR uploads the resume in PDF, Word, or a text format. Right? If you see here, what will happen is your HR will upload the resume in whatever format it may be, like PDF, Word, or a text format. Now this particular input resume which is being provided, now this will be, okay, this will be broken down into chunks. So this will go ahead and it will try to break it into different chunks, everyone. So each resume is gonna be split into smaller text pieces. That is what we call chunk. Okay, so that the AI can handle it easily. Like, let's say for an example, I go ahead and I give you an entire book to read. So what will happen? It becomes very difficult. Let's say like I've given you some 5,000 pages of books. Now I asked you to go through it. What will you do, everyone? Do you sit one day and complete off all the 5,000 pages? Absolutely no, right? You'll break it down in a way like how you want to target and how you want to complete that book. Let's say in a day I'll complete 50 pages or 100 pages. So what you're trying to do, you are trying to break that content in a way which is comfortable for you to take it up and understand. So same happens here also, everyone. So what actually happens in this scenario is, you may give whatever content you give, because that is your authority, or that is your flexibility, that you go and give whatever you want. Okay, but what happens is, the moment you take these like the moment the HR uploads this PDF, Word, or any text format, that will be broken down into chunk. Okay, the LangChain will break it into smaller text pieces. That is what we here we are referring to as a chunk, I would say. Okay, so that the AI can handle it in a little easier manner. So just simply like how we do it, right? As a human being, if somebody gives a very big task, it becomes overwhelming. So we'll try to break it down further in a very granular manner, so that we can understand and can take up the relevant result whatever we need. So that is what is a chunking happening here, splitting it into text content, so that our AI model, or maybe the LangChain, will help the respective AI agents to understand the text content by breaking it or splitting it into smaller text pieces. Then after which it will be converted into embeddings, everyone. Okay, it will be converted into embeddings. Now basically, what is an embedding? Embedding is nothing but whatever chunks are being converted right now. Whatever chunks are being converted into, I mean, like whatever the chunk has been present, right? These chunks are going to be converted right now into embeddings. Here, these are your embeddings, which is going to look like the numbers, everyone. These are your special AI numbers that actually capture the meaning of the text content. Okay, these are very, very important. The embeddings are going to play a very, very important role. Okay, all your embeddings which are there, your embeddings are going to play a very important role for your respective AI model to which you are interacting with, either Gemini, either ChatGPT, or either Claude, wherever you are trying to integrate with, they will understand this respective like embeddings. Basically, if you know about programming, everyone, okay, so what happens in program? You write any program, okay, whatever programming language it may be, you write any program. So these programs which are available, okay, these programs which are available, right, you know what they will do? They will try to get converted into a machine language, because the machines cannot understand the normal program which we write. So there will be a compiler which converts the code into a binary code, so that your machines can understand it, because your machines will never understand the text content. They will always understand the content in the form of the words, I mean, the numbers only. That too in a binary code. Same here also, everyone. Your AI models, which are sitting right at the back end, they will never understand the text content or the PDF or the document, whatever you are trying to upload as a resume. They will not understand. Yeah, you may be all understood because we know what is English and everything. But your respective AI agents at the back end, they don't know what it is all about. So that is the reason we are trying to break it into chunk of text, where we are trying to split the text into multiple pieces, and then we are converting that into embeddings, where it is getting converted into a number pattern, like where you see all the numbers are being present over here, everyone. So basically these are your numbers over here. Okay, these are your numbers where you have the embeddings, and these embeddings actually will create a meaning. These embeddings are actually going to create a meaning. Okay, so this is where the AI model or the AI agent can actually understand the text content. So this is what we call embeddings, everyone, where it will be converted into respective numbers. Okay, now what next? The next step is, once this is completed, all this will be stored in a vector database. All of them will be stored ultimately in the vector database, everyone. So whatever embeddings are created now, which is nothing but your numbers, now these embeddings are going to be taken up. Okay, whatever embeddings are there, all these embeddings are going to be saved in the vector store, or a knowledge base, you can say. Now this is like a library where all the resumes which are stored, okay, all the resumes have been stored in a searchable way. So it's like a database, everyone. Whatever search you are trying to do, whatever profile you are trying to upload, everything will be stored in the vector store. That is a, like we can call it as a vector database also, where we will store all the embeddings being present within the vector store or the vector database. Okay. Now what will happen here in this case is, let us say, okay, let us say that somebody comes with a job query. Okay, the job requirements, let's say we need a Python, SQL, and Django. So all of them will be converted into an embeddings, everyone. So all of them are going to be converted into a embeddings. So you may ask anything in the text content, it will take it up, but internally it will convert it into embeddings. Okay, and then it will find out whether if there is any related content with regards to it or not. Okay, so that is how the query embeddings will happen. I mean, for you, you don't need to write any embedding. You ask it in the plain English, whatever you want. But internally, it will convert it into the query embedding, will convert that into an embedding, and it will check it out from the vector store, the embeddings which match to it, and then will come up with the result. So basically, here if you see a resume screening, so what is happening? The system will compare. The system will compare the job embeddings which are being provided by the user with resume embeddings to find whatever is the closest match. So let's say I have given the job description. That is a job embedding, which will be converted into numbers internally by the AI agent. Now on the other side, you have given your profile, that is your resume. That is another embedding. So what will happen in the vector store? There will be a closest search. Okay, what are your job descriptions? What is your respective profile? How much similarity is being there for this job? Are you a right fit candidate or not? All those will be taken care by the embeddings, where they will try to do similarity matching, and they will come up with the relevant output, everyone. So finally you will be getting result also. A skill result will be provided. So LLM will go ahead and generate a skill result for each candidate. So candidates will be shown in the ranked list. So best fit will be there on the top, less fit will be there on the lower. So that's how the ranking will be done. So ultimately what is going to happen here is it's like a circling process. So what happens in the vector store, you have all your embeddings being present, everyone. Now whenever there is a query, hey, this is the my profile, and can you just check how much I can match for this job role? So then the query embedding will go ahead, will see one end you have your job description as one embedding, and another end, and the other side of the part there is another embedding which is about your profile. It will do a similarity search, it will screen your resume and will let you know whether if there is any close match, or whether if there is like any mismatch in your profile. So it will try to give you those details. And finally, that result, whatever the result which needs to be provided as a skill result, that will be provided to you as an output in your LLM. So your LLM will generate finally, or LLM it may be, or let's say you have created your own AI agent to do this. Ultimately, in the AI agent, whatever application you have created it, that is where you will see the result. That is where you will see the skill result for each candidate. And then there will be a ranked result where candidates are shown in a ranked list, like best fits on the top, and the less fit would be there in the lower, everyone. So what is happening overall, if you see the process, this is always the LangChain architecture. Irrespective of today you are working on the HR application, or you're working on the healthcare domain, or you're working in any domain you may be able to go ahead and work upon, what it is trying to do is ultimately your resumes will go in, and then it will be broken down into chunks where it will be split into multiple text content. Then it will be converted into embeddings, which is nothing but your numbers. Then it is stored in a vector database. Then it will try to match with the job description, and then it will rank the results for the HR to go ahead and sort out. I mean, they don't need to do anything. The AI agent will simply go ahead and say, hey, here are my 1,000 profiles, or here are my top 5 profiles, and see, I'm just sending it to you. Now rank me and give me that which one should first give the preference, second, third, like this. You can call them and can schedule the interviews accordingly. I mean, you don't need to go through all those 1,000 or 10,000 resumes, because all that will be taken care by the resume screening AI agent itself. Okay. So that is the capability which I just want to make it very clear to all of you. And this is the architecture which everybody of you should actually be aware about, everyone. Okay. So how LangChain works. This is a standard process. Okay. You upload any document, it will be broken down into multiple chunks. Okay, that is nothing but you're splitting it into multiple text content, convert it into embeddings, which is nothing but your numbers. Okay, and then after which you send it to your vector database, and then later your vector database will make sure that it maps with whatever job description and the resume profile is being sent. It will do a similarity search, and finally it will rank your results from top to bottom. Okay, whoever is been having a very good match to the job description will be placed at the top. Whoever is not having that will be gradually falling down continuously. Okay, so that is the process with which we need to go as a LangChain architecture, everyone. So this is how the LangChain is going to work. Hope you all have got the clarity of how this is going to play as a very, very important role. Okay, let me check here. See, LangChain now for an example, whatever the LangChain is there, LangChain is a framework, everyone. It is organizing everybody of you. Like say for an example, now Edureka is organizing all of us, so that I and then you, we're all collaborative and we're connecting to each other. It's like an Edureka here. LangChain is like an Edureka, where it is giving you a platform, where it is giving you a structure, so that we all can seamlessly integrate and connect with. That is how LangChain works. LangChain is like a platform or a framework where on top of that you create your AI agent, you integrate your LLM. So definitely within LangChain you have your LLM also, where you can integrate and can be able to connect with it. Okay. So let me take up the questions very quickly. Only limited questions at this point of time, and later I will take up again some more questions on this LangChain. People who are clear with it, you don't need to ask. People who are not clear, I'll try to answer very quickly. Go ahead, Trisha.
Hey, hi Prashant. So first thing I
Hey.
want to understand about the chunk strategy, as you have mentioned that we have the PDF Word documents and we are dividing into different chunks so that we can understand. But how will we decide the number of chunks here? Because it could
Yeah.
overlap, right? So could you please
So we
explain me
will.
it more?
That's a trial. That's a trial and error, Trisha, which we will do practically right now. Ideally, what happens is, see, there is no such rule like how much you are going to have. So basically, we have a syntax like split text document and then recursive character. So basically, when I'm explaining practically, you will anyhow get an exposure to it. So what we will do is, there is definitely chances of overlapping happening, okay, because if you don't overlap, what will happen is the last content which is being created may get missed out with the next one, because they all should be in a continuation. Let's say I split 1000 text content into one. Now the next one, if I split it from 1000 to 2000, there are high chances that the next chunk which I'm going to do will not have a correlation with the previous chunk. So definitely there will be an overlap, but overlap will be between the range of like 200 or 100 text content, which is absolutely fine. I mean, the AI can understand that overlap, and it will try to do that break. Let's say 100 or 200 text content will be overlap, and after that it will understand, okay, this is overlap content. Let me remove this and try to understand the continuation of the sentence, and it will keep going and will be trying to create multiple chunks like that. But you will get an exposure when I'm going to explain it practically, but there is no concrete answer as such like, hey, this is how the chunk strategy is. Like, okay, let's say you chunk it into 1000 text content, and then in that put an overlap of 200 or 100. Now this is like, if it is not working, then what I will do, I will break the chunk content into, like, let's say 500, and then I will make it like 200 or 300. So like that overlap and chunk we have to play around with, because it is ultimately, it's not for our understanding, it is for the machines or LLMs to understand it, right? So that they can process it in a very smooth manner. So that is how you need to chunk as a trial and error approach and take it further, Tusha. But we will
So just
understand that practically also. Yes,
got
go
it,
ahead.
got it. Completely understood. Just one last question. We are doing it here, small project, but just let's take an
Mm,
example. When we are doing an industry, we don't have any
mm,
performance metric to understand how it
mm,
is performing. Second, we are
mm,
also playing around with chunk strategy like
mm,
400, 500. But at
mm,
then it will be very difficult, right? It will be very time consuming even to
mm.
understand how my
So, okay. In the industry, how it works is, Trisha, like, we will give our strategy. We'll give a strategy, because it's not so simple that you'll have your AI architect sitting there. Okay, so what you do, you go to any LLM as an architect, you just ask, hey, this is my case study I'm going to work upon. Now you say me, what would be the best strategy to go ahead and then try to split the chunks and then do an overlap. So it will give you a very concrete value just based on my experience. Only 2% or 1% deviation only, which it is going to do, which is absolutely fine in the AI world. Okay, so you have to be a little bit smart here, where you have to ask your LLMs that this is my case study and this is what I want to approach. Can you just be able to go ahead and make sure that the chunks are being taken in a right direction, so that we don't have much overlap, and at the same time the chunks are also not being repeated in nature. So it will be able to give you, I mean, if you are working in an industry, you will have your architects, there will be a lot of discussions being done like this, and then we will take a call, and we will also take the help of the LLMs there to understand the chunking strategy, and then we will be able to build our own application. I mean, that's how ideally it's going to work upon, because ultimately it's a trial and error approach. So once you come up, trial and error is up to what point? Up to you become confident, up to people get confident that, okay, this is working good, then you will release it to the people. So people will never face the chunking strategy problem, because already you have done a lot of experimentation and testing for this chunking part. That is how
okay.
in the real world application it works, Trisha.
Okay, got it. And in the LLM,
Mm.
what is going is the top relevant search from the vector database plus the query embedding. Both are
Exactly.
going into LLM,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, everything will be
Okay.
taken care by the LLM only, because that is where intelligence is there, right? Whatever parameter you give,
Yes, yes.
like top K value or do a similarity search or semantic search, that all will be taken care by the LLM only,
Okay,
because
got it.
they only can understand it.
Got
Yeah.
it, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Debashish.
Hi, Prashant. So going with this architecture, what you explained, so it's a kind of rag only, right? Where we are doing where we are storing the
Mm.
information as a vector in the vector DB, and with the query also are converted to vector and just
Okay.
getting the information,
See,
right?
Correct. So yeah, exactly. It's a sort of a RAG concept only. Okay, but RAG will be a little bit more in depth, like where you will be seeing, okay, say vector DB and all. That's irrespective. I mean, in the line chain, everywhere you have to use vector DB. I mean, vector DB cannot be, we cannot get rid of it. Embeddings is also part of it. I mean, every application will go through it. That is the reason you will feel that RAG also follows the same thing. Not only RAG, any application in the line chain, we are going to create, right? It's the same approach. And RAG is also part of the line chain only. So in the next class, when we are going to discuss about the rack concept, you'll see the more or less same architecture which will be taken up the Bashish. But the use case will change for the rack, whatever we are going to work upon.
Just one question. Without LangChain, we cannot do this thing. Like,
You can
I
do it.
can like,
You can do it.
I can write my own Python code, create the
That's
chunks,
what you
and
can do it.
store it, right? Okay.
Yeah, you can do it. As we are learning AI agents, we are learning different frameworks. How every framework is going to work. As part of that, we are learning LangChain today. It doesn't mean that everything has to be a LangChain. Today, as we are learning LangChain, so we are giving emphasis to the LangChain. But without LangChain, if you want to create it, you can do. Last time we created AI agents where we did not use any LangChain. The day one and day two class, right? Today we are learning LangChain. Tomorrow we will learn something else, Crew AI, Autogen. Different frameworks are there. Whichever is comfortable for all of us, we'll try to leverage them. That's the main idea. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Ajay, quickly.
Hey, good morning, Prashant.
Yeah, Ajay.
So my question here is, we are using vector store here, right? So can we also use local database like SQL Server or
No.
Oracle as a?
No, we cannot. We cannot. At least at this point of time, we don't have that support because in your SQL and NoSQL database, you'll have your data being present there and you retrieve it, right? And here, the vector store or the vector database will store embeddings, and it has a very close connection with all your embeddings. It will try to understand because in the vector database, you're just not storing. Your vector database is also doing the similarity search based on the profile what you're giving and then the job description. So it has its own functionalities due to which we cannot configure it with the local DB, and the local DB will become very, very costly here. So vector database is always preferable in all your AI agent applications, Ajay.
Suppose I have a need for, like, for this example itself for HR. Suppose they are also maintaining some kind of details into the database. So instead of using vector store, what if HR needs to connect to the database? I mean, not HR, but like this LLM needs to connect to the database.
They can have an additional DB to store the profiles and all. They can do that. See, this is architecture, Ajay. Now, to this architecture, if you want to have one more database where you want to store the HR document or HR related information, or let's say profiles which the people are trying to send in, if you want to store that, you can have a separate DB. There's no doubt in that. People can always fetch the results from there. But again, replacing vector DB is not possible. To that, you want to add any additional databases, that is possible. That's what I intend to say here.
Okay. So, but
Thank you, Ajay.
separately, it is yes, separately it is possible to use a database.
Yeah,
And
it is possible.
where user can use natural language and connect to the talk to the
Absolutely.
database, right?
Correct, absolutely. Because the very purpose of the database is to store and retrieve it. So you can use the database, but you cannot replace the vector store. That is the point I want to highlight it here. But you can add additionally. Okay. Yeah, over to you. The last question, Magesh. Later, I'll take up the remaining questions.
Hi, Prashant. Yeah, the same
Okay.
question which asked by Ajay. Okay. See,
Got
I
it.
understood. Whatever the thing is, vector database is a embedded database for AI model. I understood that.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm,
So there is no possible to change the database till now, as of now.
mm,
Okay. But
mm,
the vector
mm,
database, that capacity. So if in
mm,
future I will bulk load of the data, that is large data, big data kind of things, what is the
mm.
capacity we can increase? If in future we can
I'm
increase, is it possible to vector database?
Yeah, it is possible. It's like a cloud, I would say, Magesh. Okay, like how it happens in clouds. You start small and then you grow big there, and it's flexible, right? You keep increasing the data and you pay for it accordingly. Same approach here also. Your vector store, initially when you start, you may have limited embeddings, but as you grow, your embeddings will increase, and your vector store with whatever services you are using from OpenAI or Google or Microsoft, they will increase the size for you so that you can go ahead and can support all the relevant data there. It is flexible enough where it can go ahead further increase as per whatever the data you have with you.
Uh, okay, but we can able to see that configuration of vector database in that
Yeah,
LangChain
yeah.
model,
We only
or
will do, na? Yeah, we will only do that configuration, right? So when you're in an organization, when you work upon, you are only going to set up the configuration, how much size you need, how much TB of data you want, where you want to place it, how the embeddings are going to come. So all that will be written in the code. That's what I'll explain today. So you'll understand that how vector store can be taken up practically also. But otherwise, all this configuration will be set up by us only, and then we will give it. After that, if the configuration changes because of the demand, we will again try to change the configurations, or maybe we will inform to the team who is hosting this. They will be able to expand or decline based on the requirement.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Magesh. Now, remaining questions I'll take it up little later, everyone, not at this point of time, as we have taken up some good amount of questions right now. The people have raised hands. Yeah, I know that we'll be getting the chance again. So now what I'll do is I'll take you to the next part where you will get some exposure towards mm, output parsers. Okay. So just to let you know, I mean, it's not very important, but just have an idea about it. Okay. So you see that output parsers here. Output parsers are going to play a good role, but again, good to know, but not something which you have to sit through and then go through each and every point. Okay. So whenever you see the parsers, okay, whenever you see the terminology called as a parsers, right? What is the purpose of the parsers here? See, the purpose of the parser series, everyone, whenever we ask an AI model, like a Gemini or ChatGPT, okay, something, whatever you want, okay. So it will go ahead and reply it in a very free text content. Okay, it will just give you enough free text content, I mean, without any proper pattern. Okay, so I mean, like, let's say we are doing the HR, like the resume screening agent. Now, when it comes up with a very clear output, okay, when it comes up with a very clear output, so what it will do, it will make sense to us. Because when you read the response, it should be very structured in order to read the results, right? Like whether the candidate is been suitable for the profile or not. Okay, or whether what is the similarity score, something like that you want to check it out into. But unfortunately, what happens if the text content is not appropriate, or it is not present in a very clear pattern, or if it is not there in a structured format, then that's going to create a problem, everyone. That's going to create a problem. So that is where your output parsers will come into the picture, where these output parsers will convert the messy text, okay, whatever the text which is there, right, which is in the messy in nature. So this messy text can be converted right now into a very neat, okay, it can be converted into a very neat and structured data. Okay, it will be converted into a very neat and structured data. That is the purpose of the output parsers. So it will convert your whatever the free form text is there. You can convert your free form text into a proper structured data where you can be able to read the information whatever you want. That's the first thing. Okay, then what it can do is it can normalize. Normalize means what? So AI can write everything in a very different styles, everyone. Okay, so parsers will make sure the output is consistent every time. Whatever the output we are trying to get in, so it will make sure that the output at the end of the day is consistent every time when we are working upon. Okay, and then results. Most of the results are going to be reliable here. I mean, it's going to give you a very structured results without depending on any complex coding or without depending on any function calls. Okay, so you don't need to depend on any function calls. You can directly be able to see there will be a very good structured output, okay, which you can rely and you can read all the related information, whatever you want. Okay, so first you have to convert that text into a proper structured data. Then you're going to normalize the output where your AI can write the things in different styles, and your parsers will help you to make sure that the output is very consistent. And then the reliable, I mean, it gives us structured results without depending on any complex coding or without depending on any function calls. Okay, so these are the three important benefits we are going to get whenever you hear the terminology called as output parsers, because your output parsers will play a very important role just to structure your data. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to see that whatever the LLMs are trying to give as an output, let me integrate with them. Let me try to bring it a proper structure so that the end users who are going to read this content can read it in a proper structured manner without any concerns or difficulties. And that is the main idea we all here need to be aware about when we are referring to output parsers in this scenario, everyone. Okay, so that's the main idea. I just want to let you all know, and then the remaining things. Okay, so all these things we can ignore, and then I'll just explain to you the next important thing which every one of you need to know is the integration with the downstream tasks. Okay, give me 1 minute. Yeah, integration. Yeah, this is very important again. Integration with downstream tasks, everyone. Okay, so now by seeing this, I think everybody can correlate it based on the architecture what we discussed. By seeing this, everyone can understand what is happening here. So what is happening, everyone? There is a loader. What is the purpose of the loader? Loader purpose is to load the files. Okay, it is to load the files. Like you will bring the files into the system. Like it may be a PDF, or it may be a document, or it may be a text content. You will try to load that files. As I said, example, in our scenario, HR uploads the resumes. That is the loader where the files get loaded. After that, you will have your documents. Now, the document is nothing but the file which you can read and convert it into plain text so that the AI can understand it. So, basically, like you have loaded a PDF or a document or a text as a profile or as a resume. Okay. Now, what the documents will do, the documents are nothing but it will pick up the text content, because the AI model or the agent is least bothered whether you are uploading PDF or a document or a text content. What it wants here is whatever the text which is available in this document, I only needed that. Whatever the text content is available, I'm gonna only need that, and I will focus only on that part. That's it. And then you have a splitter over here, everyone. So what is splitter? Just now I said it to all of you. Okay. So what will happen here is we are going to break the text into small chunks over here. Whatever the text is there, so we are going to break the text content into smaller chunks, everyone. So your resume, whatever is there, now that is gonna be split into work experience, education, skills. Like it will be further broken down so that your splitter can understand it in a very clear way. That is how you can break it down into smaller chunks. Okay, and then embeddings. As you know already, embeddings are nothing but each text chunk which is present here will be converted into a number. Okay, and those numbers are going to be stored within the vector store. That is nothing but your vector database where the embeddings are going to be stored inside it. All the embeddings which are being there are going to be stored in a very smart database, and that is your vector database here. And this will allow, the vector database will allow you to do fastly search. It will do a very fast search, and on top of that it will also try to match. If there are any similarities, it will try to match and give you the relevant output. So ultimately the file is getting uploaded. In the file there is a text content we are trying to generate. Okay, the file we are trying to generate the text content. Then we are splitting this text content so that it becomes easier for the agents or AI models to understand. Then we are converting it into numbers called as an embeddings. Okay, and then finally we are storing it in the database. That is a vector database. This is how the entire flow is going to work like. Okay, this is how you see that your entire flow is going to work across everybody. Okay, so you will upload your file, you extract the text content from there, and then you further split that document, and then you convert it into embeddings called as a numbers, and then you finally go ahead and store that in your vector database. Okay, so this is how your entire flow is basically going to look like. Okay, so yeah, this is one of the important point which I just want to make it very clear to you. So now let me show you one more interesting thing here. Okay, so we have something called as a text splitters here. Okay, so if you see here, there is a text splitters, everyone. So now what is a text splitter? I said text splitters are basically the tools that's going to break, okay, that's going to break your long text. Okay, that's going to break your long text into really smaller parts. Okay, that's going to break your longer text into smaller parts, which we call it as a chunks over here. So you are going to break your long text, whatever is available, into a smaller parts, and that is what we here refer to as the chunks, so that the AI can be able to process them in a really better manner. That is what we learned as a text splitter from the start of the session. We learned this. Now, let's say a resume might be very, very long, but AI will have some limits on how much text it can read at once. That is when it will split it off and then it will make its work easier so that it can take up every content available in your resume. Okay, I mean, AI cannot handle very large documents or very long documents in one go, everyone. So that is the reason they try to use the text splitter to split it into multiple chunks so that we make sure that no important information is getting missed in the process. Let's say if the AI is not having the capability to break it down into multiple text content, or if it is not having the capability to split it, then that is going to create a problem. Then like what will happen is it will only take some part of the content and some part will be left over, and you will never see the rightful result being coming in. But when you split it into chunks, we ensure that no important information is getting missed out in the process. So that is how we are making the AI process very efficient and accurate in the system, everyone. Okay, so the key parameters you see, one is the chunk size. Okay, how much each piece of text should be. Like you can provide, each chunk could be like 500 to 1,000 characters long. I think we had this discussion, right? I think Deepthi or somebody has asked me so about how this is going to happen. See, chunk size will be determined. So chunk size will say how much big piece of text should be taken into consideration. So each chunk could be somewhere like around 500 to 1,000 characters long. You can mention that. Okay, and then you can also see on the other side the chunk overlap. Okay, chunk overlap means there can be a little bit of repeated text between the chunks. Little bit. I mean, that will ensure the AI doesn't lose the context. As I just said, right, there should definitely be an overlap. Why there should be overlap is, let's say, I will say name, I will say my name is XYZ. Now, this is fine. What overlap I'll say, you see, okay? Now, how overlap is going to work? Let's say, for an example, when I say my name is XYZ, and if there is no overlap, now, the next sentences which will be created, the AI model will not take the context as the previous one. So what it will try to do, it will try to keep generating or creating something else from here, which will not make sense with the previous sentence. But when you overlap, let's say I will overlap is XYZ, and then from there you create. So now what it will understand, oh, okay, already there is a sentence. Now to match that context, I need to create my next sentences as an output. That is the reason overlap is required, everyone. Okay, a little bit of repeated text is required so that the AI can actually understand and it will never try to lose the context when moving from one chunk to another chunk. So if one chunk ends with Python, okay, let's say one chunk ends with Python developer, the next chunk also starts with the Python developer to keep that continuity. Okay, to keep that continuity so that the context can always be able to set up. Now, this is not for us as a result, it will come. This is for the AI to understand whatever information you are giving it. So you are not going to see this as an output. You may think that, hey, I never see anything in repetition. I've never seen output like that, like where 2 or 3 sentences are getting repeated. That's absolutely fine because you don't need to see that. Because whatever splitting is happening, it is only for the system to understand it, not for us. So the system can correlate, or the AI model can correlate, or the AI agent, whatever the name you want to mention it as, at the end of the day, they want to correlate. Whatever the text content we are providing, it's trying to split because the text is huge. And then when they are splitting it, they're splitting it in a very intelligent way where they are trying to have some little bit of overlap so that they can understand the continuation of the sentences. And from there, they can be able to move ahead with. Okay, let's say you have a book. You have a book. Now, the last time when you read the book, where there was a sentence saying that, let's say, I woke up, something like this. Okay, now as long as you remember that you have ended here, well and good, excellent, no doubt in that. Let's say you forgot. Let's say you forgot after 1 week or 2 months or 1 month, you came back and you want to read the content. But it is not allowing you. Okay, let's say it is not allowing you to proceed further. Then in that case, what are you going to do? So then in that scenario, the point what we need to understand here is, like, as you know very clearly, that as you forgot, now it becomes very challenging because you have to recollect. Sometimes you may recollect, sometimes you may not recollect. I don't want this challenge. What I want to do is, when you're splitting the text content, make sure that you take the previous 1 or 2 words as an overlap. And from there, you continue your journey. Let's say if I would have put a bookmarker here, next time when I come, I would have easily taken this, and then I know that from where I can continue from there. Or you can just highlight it, okay, this is where I am. Next time when you come, you can start focusing from there, rather than again finding it difficult that where you have stopped it. So that is how your text splitters are going to play as a very important role to break it down into chunks and then see all the related results, whatever we want. Okay, your text splitter ultimately will cut off the content into smaller chunks. It will try to overlap to build some context. It can analyze everything in a very smooth manner without being overloaded in the process. So this is the overall idea we need to be here aware when we refer to the text splitters in this case, everyone. Okay, so this is the thought process which you need to know as part of the text splitters. And then one more important concept I want to highlight here is, okay, so let me embeddings. Okay, in the embeddings also, this is the next important point, everyone. So when we refer to embeddings, as I said, right, in embeddings, what will happen? So embedding models are actually not, these are the core concept of the machine learning models. Okay, embedding models are nothing but these are your machine learning models, everyone. What does embedding does? Embedding models are going to make sure that they will convert the text into the numbers. Those are called as the vectors. Okay, ultimately the game is how much ever you try to learn, the main core essence of the embedding is it will try to convert the text whatever is there into numbers, and that's what we call vectors over here. And those numbers, whatever we are converting into a numbers, right, those numbers are going to capture the meaning of the text, not just the words. Okay, so whatever the numbers which are going to be converted as an embedding, right, those embeddings will actually capture the meaning. It's not just like that it is doing, it will capture the meaning of the text content. Okay, not just the words. So that is the idea we need to be here aware about. Okay, so you need to understand that machines cannot understand the plain English, but they can only understand the numbers. Okay, so embeddings will help your AI to understand the text by placing some similar meanings very close together in the entire space of numbers, right? It will try to map those correlations, clustering, and then it will see if there are any close results. It will help us out to read the details in a better manner. That's the major idea. Let's say if HR searches for Python plus SQL skills I want, then what will happen? The system will compare the embeddings of the resumes which have been available in the vector database, and it will see resume which is having with the very closest embedding as per the requirement of Python and SQL. It will try to pull that profile from the vector database and it will rank it at the top and will give it to you so that you can have a look into it. So basically embedding models are like a translators. They are going to turn the text content into numbers so that your AI can understand, it can fetch the relevant meaning and then the similarities associated with it. Okay, so that is the main process which we all here should be aware about. Okay, and you know what is a vector store, everyone? Vector store is ultimately the database. Okay, vector store is, I mean, where will these embeddings go? Ultimately, these embeddings will go to where? Vector store only, right? So vector store is your database. That is where you will see all your embeddings are going to be stored. Okay, where like you can search here from the vector store, it will be having a meaning and then a context, and then you can not just exact keywords, it will just come up with the proper meaning and will give you the relevant information. Okay, so that is the important thing. Let's say in the vector store, right, you'll have something called as a semantic search. Okay, in the vector store we have something called as a semantic search, everyone. So in the semantic search, you know what you will do? Let's say you just put a keyword, like Python. So what it will do, you know, the semantic search will find out the resumes in your database which you have already stored, right? From your database it will pick up whichever is having a keyword called as a Python. The vector store will look for that semantic search and it will try to come up with the proper meaning here. Okay, that's the main idea. Okay, so whenever you're going to go ahead and see that your semantic search here would play a very important role, where you can just pick up a particular keyword. So whatever the keyword you want, you can just provide that keyword. With that keyword, your semantic search is one of the feature in the vector database. So from what it will try to do, your semantic search is going to play an important role. So from the vector database, it will pick up anything which is related to Python. It will try to bring up all those resumes and will try to show it to you just with one word. That is a semantic search. So where your vector store is so popular, everyone, okay, that you put one keyword, it can understand what are all the profiles related to that keyword. Let me try to dump it and let me rank it from top to high so that your HR can be able to look into. Let's say sometimes you don't have a job description. You have only one or two keywords only. and you want to see any profiles in your database which matches with this, just use a semantic search. We will learn that right now, practically also. We'll have a semantic search. Put a keyword in the semantic search. Now, this keyword in the semantic search will help you to read whatever the information you want. That is the main idea we need to know over here. Okay. So embeddings, I mean, semantic search means what? Semantic search is nothing but it will try to target your vector database. And in the vector database, as you know, embeddings are not for keywords. They have a proper meaning. So that is a proof for the semantic search. So when you say a keyword in the semantic search, it will understand the actual meaning that Python is a programming language, and it will try to see whoever has the Python as a programming language, who has done some certifications and all, their profiles will be matched at the top, and then gradually next profiles will keep falling down like this in the form of a ranking. So that is another important thing which we all should be knowing about. So ultimately, vector store is not a normal database. Like it's not a normal database just to store the data. Vector store is considered to be a very smart database where it will let your AI to find out the most relevant resumes or maybe the most relevant skill sets, okay, by exactly understanding the meaning and then matching it appropriately and giving the relevant profile to the like the HRs so that they can be able to take those profiles and can move further with it. So that is how embedding is going to play a very important role in a vector store. Imagine if you know how to create an embedding, but if you don't know how to store that in the vector store, then there is no purpose of doing it, right? So equally, both of them are important. When embeddings are created, then there should be a space to store it also. So definitely you need a vector store in that scenario. So when you have a vector store, your vector store will say that, hey, now I have all the embeddings. I can correlate the meanings. I can do some similarity search so that when you put any word, that similarity search is semantic search. Okay, when you put any keyword, I can immediately pick up the information and can give you the related results. After which it's up to you how you want to take it up with. But this is how the entire structure of the LangChain is going to work upon everyone. So is everybody clear? This is what theoretically we need to cover. Now, no more theory with regards to LangChain. Whatever important points you all have to learn, theoretically, I have been able to cover them. So now only thing is, whatever you learned right now theoretically will be explained practically so that you can correlate whatever you learned here and you can map them when I'm explaining the program part to you all. Okay, so that you can be able to like understand what we have learned and how we can implement it practically so that at the end of the day we can try to see the way how we are trying to build up an application, right? You can remember, I mean, see, imagine you are understanding theoretically, imagine on the other side you are also trying to learn practically. So when these two things are going to become strong, I mean, you will never try to forget those concepts again. So that's the main idea behind it. So now I will be moving on to the hands-on activity where we will do one small practical part of creating an application. Once that is created successfully, then we'll go for a break. After you come back from the break, I will move away from the Google Colab. Today what we will do is we'll create an end-to-end application. Okay, at least we'll try how to create an end-to-end application with a proper front end. Okay, by creating a proper AI agent. End-to-end we'll create an AI agent for the resume screening application. Okay, in the Google Colab, definitely we will do, that's mandatory. People who are interested can create an application along with me so that I'll guide you and you can also be able to do that appropriately. Okay. But yeah, before we go into all those things, as we are done with the theoretical part, at least for the LangChain part, let me see if there are any questions and try to answer them off very clearly right now. After that, we will move on to hands-on activity and we'll do all the practical part. Meanwhile, people can try to go ahead and open your Google Colab, everyone. You can try to please open your Google Colab and be ready so that I can explain to you once the questions have been answered over here. Yeah, we can also replace it Viber. We can also replace it with the GraphDB. That's not a problem. As long as embeddings can be supported, if it is not VectorDB, you can use a Chroma, you can use GraphDB, you can use FAST. All these are the different types of databases, which we can always be able to leverage it Viber. Okay, 1 minute. The people who has actually raised the hand before, I think there were two people before I was explaining, right? There were two people who got missed out. If you think that you still have the question, you can please raise your hand and leave it. Okay. Yeah. Over to you, Santosh.
Yeah, hi Prashant.
Hey, Santosh.
So as we know, right, we have to import the document, then we can use LangChain. So
Hmm.
is it there any possibility without document we can use LangChain like prompt wise?
Yeah. Why not? See, yeah, I mean, good question. First of all, I'll say, see, Santosh, in our example today, we are uploading the PDF. That is a profile. So we are taking this as a reference. Now, if you would have seen in the integration part, I said, the document, whatever you provide, ultimately that loader, where it is loading the document, right? Then it is generating it into text content because your line chain will never bother whether it is a document, whether you are giving a prompt, because at the end of the day, it needs a text content so that it can get to know the text content and can proceed further. So ultimately, either it may be a document or either it may be a prompt, it doesn't matter. LangChain will support all of them. Why am I talking about document upload? Because our case study, what we talk about the resume screening agent, will have the documents to be uploaded. But otherwise, it can take everything, is what I would say, Santosh.
Suppose I'm take an example like civil score. Okay. So for that, I think we don't need a document, right? We just
No, you
give.
don't need. You just give the parameters what is required.
Okay.
Your name, your financial background you provide it, and then finally it will be able to assess and give you the result.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Nandakishore. Nandakishore, I see that you raised your hand. You have any question for me? Okay. Let's move on to Una.
Hey, I have two questions. First one is, I know you said the input documents can be PDF text, right? Can it take images as well?
It's up to how we configure it at the end of the day. Una. It can take it up. So at the end of the day, whatever upload mechanism we want to provide it, it can take the image and then it will split the image into multiple chunks. It will try to understand the image in a very clear way. It will convert that image in the pixels into embeddings, and those embeddings will be stored in the vector database. And then after that, whatever question you ask about that image, it will give you the response. But it can be supported.
Okay, but there's see, if it is a PDF or a Word document, right? I will have like 5 pages as one document, and when I upload it, it will break it down into smaller chunks and then do embeddings. But if it is
Mm.
an image, right, I cannot
Mm.
have like 5 images in one, like how unlike a PDF
One
or a
image at
Word.
a time. One image at a time, it will take it up.
Okay,
Okay,
but will it
like one by one.
understand the continuity?
See, that is what the point is. LangChain is a framework, right? Like in that case, what you need to do, you have concepts like variational autoencoders, VAE, generative adversarial network, that is called as a GAN. These are the specialized models to handle the images. Now, LangChain
Okay,
is a framework which is supported for the text content. Now, again, I'm not denying
okay,
that it cannot be able to do. It can still do. You talk about like two experts. One expert is handling in generating the text content, another expert is handling in generating the images. Okay. Now you
okay,
compare
okay.
them, definitely you will not be seeing that, right? The LangChain can win there. So LangChain is good for text, but otherwise, what the two models I suggested to you, right? The variational autoencoder and then the generative adversarial network. These are the two models. These are the generative AI concepts. Okay, those are not AI agent concept. They will be helpful for you to create and generate the images appropriately. That's the major
Okay.
thing.
Can you ping those two models in the chat when you have some
Yeah, yeah.
time? Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll be
I
sharing
just
it.
want
Okay.
to take a note so I don't miss it. Okay. So
Absolutely.
these are like two independent actions, right? When you showed me the LangChain architecture, so
Mm.
one is like first when we upload the resume, it converts into chunks and does embeddings and then store it in the vector database. Then
Yes.
whenever I go and ask some questions, then
Mm.
it once
Mm.
again converts that query into embeddings and then reaches
Exactly.
out to the vector. Okay. So it's two. It's
100%
coming
right
from two.
understanding. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
correct. That's the right understanding. And that we'll see right now practically also. Okay.
Okay.
So that
Perfect.
will,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. Over to you, Nandakishore. I see that you're unmute. Mm. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not able to hear you. But yeah, you can put up a question. I'll just have a look into it. Thank you. Over to you, Prakash.
Yeah. So, keeping the LangChain ability to render the text as a document, okay. So can we keep it in a larger perspective what we are dealing with right now in our projects? Okay, like normally for background processes, we are I'm saying in terms of ETL, I'm talking about where we are actually dealing with multiple files and that is getting stored after getting it being extracted. So definitely that is required some custom interpretation as well behind the scene just to store all those CSV datas into database. Here we have vector database. Will it serve for that purpose? I'm little confused on that part. Yeah.
Okay. See, again, I wouldn't be right now in a position to say that it is 100% perfect or not until we do a proper analysis. But I would just let you know, you can definitely utilize it in a way like for background check. Let's you have to make the lang chain being trained with it. After it's been trained, then you take the profiles of the candidates who has to go through a background check. It will you can upload that document and then it will be able to extract that information and then it will transform it in the vector database. Your vector database will try to go ahead and see from its database any really meaningful result and then it will try to give you the information. Okay, so you can definitely do this like a BGC application, like end to end, you can create it on top of the line chain. But how much accuracy with which it is coming up? That is something we need to experiment and see the results. But the answer is in two parts. Yes, it can be done. Second thing is the accuracy is what we need to determine until we experiment and see the results. Is it clear, Prakash?
Okay,
Or
so
you have any? Yeah, go ahead.
basically we are performing ETL tasks with
Yes.
LangChain in
We can do it. I mean, we are not performing right now, Prakash. We can do it, is what I'm trying to say. And currently, if you see, that is what is happening, right? In our, let's say, profile case, in our resume screening agent. What are we trying to do? We're extracting the text content from the document, whatever we are uploading it. Then we are transforming the text content by breaking it into multiple small pieces, and then we are converting it into embedding, and the transformation is happening in your vector database. Okay, so somewhere or the
yeah,
other, if you
yeah.
see very closely, it's trying to do that. But again, to the core, if you really want to implement it, we need to do little bit of analysis to exactly identify where this use case will be helpful for us.
Yeah, so pretty much I understand what you are saying, but the question is like what we have to do. We have to here the vector database is storing the embedded answer the most closest possible the vector representations. Okay.
Absolutely, Prakash.
Now, question is this vector database for me as a database interpreter, let's say, that's a black box for me. I don't know that interpretation has been done by the AI, agentic AI. Okay, so for me, what is useful is the I'm say the tables or entities what I have created in my normal database. Is it possible that vector database representation could be shaved in tables, DB tables as well, so that it would be
Yes, yes,
meaningful
it can be
further
saved.
to map it
Now I
with
understood.
the
Hmm.
Power API, Power BI dashboards, or
Yes,
what
yes.
you would.
Yeah, okay. Let's say you have a Power BI, you can take a data source as a vector DB and you can convert those embeddings into text content and you can fetch some great dashboards and you can showcase it in your different ETL tools which have been available, Prakash. It can be done.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Mhm.
Thank you, Prakash. Shushma?
So my question is regarding embedding. So for example, say the resume has 1,000 words, will be 1,000 embeddings?
No, no, no. It will club it into words and it will do embedding, Shushma. Okay, embeddings are not like sentence by sentence, word by word, it will not go ahead. Like alphabets. Let's say
Got
what it will try to do is, let's say there is a word called as Shushma in the name. It will combine all of them and it will create one single embedding for it. Like that, and then let's say Prakash, then it will take one embedding and it will combine them. Like Deep, it will take one embedding and it will do it. Like that, it will do. Otherwise, one word at a time will take away. I mean, one alphabet in a word will take away a lot of time in the vector database. That's the reason.
Got it. Will there be any limited length in each vector?
As of now, there is nothing as such. Okay, it's all about the flexibility what we are currently having at Shishma. Okay, there is no such stringent rule being kept saying that this is the limit which you need to follow. Limit is always being provided by the user only. Otherwise, these are having such a strong computation power, Shushma, that you can process and can see a lot of great information. It can take it up, and it is also having a very good amount of storage. Along with all these things, what you do, you also need to keep paying them because you are utilizing a lot of resources of them. So we need to be a little bit more careful. So there you will use maximum length or maximum limit is only this much. Once the limit is exhausted, it will let you know, hey Shushma, I cannot add anything in the vector database because your limit is exceeded now. So you have to put your own limit, but otherwise they are not going to give any limit because it is the business for them at the end of the day. So that is how it works, Shushma.
Got it. And one more question, right? Suppose I have 10 resumes. One of the resume is missing education. One of the resumes is missing certifications. Does this framework also help us provide which resume is incomplete and give us a signal that this resume
Okay,
is?
yeah. So, okay, it can be done, Shishma, for like the way how we are doing it, but our application majorly focuses on what is your job description, what is your profile, are there any similarity search? Okay, because this is useful for, let's say, the entire talent acquisition in the organizations, right? So, but you can create the same approach where you can say that if your resume is not having the relevant details or if it is not having some of the important information, you can also be able to filter it and can see which is missing and then you can target them accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, the same application can also be done over here, is what I intend to say.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, yeah, over to you, Deepthi.
Hello, is it audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you're talking about resume scanner builder, right? Whether there is an agent which will interact with the LinkedIn or Naukri profile to get the resumes.
You're asking me like, is there anything like where it can get your resumes and do it, right?
Yeah. Usually, how the talent acquisition team they will connect to the LinkedIn portal or Naukri portal, and then they'll collect the resumes, right?
Okay, yeah, that we will learn little further. What we do is simply you give the agent your LinkedIn URL and it will try to fetch the documents from there itself. That we will learn when we move little bit further how to connect the agents to an external world. But ideally what happens is, Deepthi, when the agent is created, they will just give a URL to which URL it should be redirected to. And there also, it will not pick up everything randomly, right? If you apply to that company, it will ultimately go to the database of that company's LinkedIn profile. So from there, the agent will be picking up the information and it will follow the same process what we learned right now, Dipti.
Okay. Okay, I have one more question. See, suppose you have two images. Okay, one is from, for example, exact drawing image. Okay, consider it as an one house construction is happening. So really, the architecture will be giving one image. Okay, another image after construction, somebody will capture which is a difference. Architecture has told something, and the image big construction has happened something. Okay, the difference between these two images we have to found it, and the person who is uploading the image is going to tell these difference in his regional language like Kannada, Hindi, Tamil or anything. One agent we have to create that it has to read the difference between the original image and real this one.
Absolutely.
And then it has to create an Excel report. This is the issue, this is the image, this is the site. Is it possible to achieve?
Yeah, it can be done.
Okay. Compare images under some particular module means models.
You have to use a comparative analysis models. Using that, it can be able to analyze and can give you the appropriate result, Deepthi.
Okay. Means do you suggest any particular model we can use it for this purpose?
Yeah, I will suggest to you. This cannot be done totally in the agentic AI. We will use the machine learning models like a TensorFlow. You can take care of TensorFlow. TensorFlow plays a very important role to do the comparative analysis and come up with the great results there, Deepthi. And I'll also give you some more models. Just remind me somewhere at any point of time. I'll just share that to you. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Prashant.
Yeah. Over to you, Magesh, quickly.
Yeah, Prashant. Actually, today discussion you mentioned about that training the model. Okay, the training the model, right? The term is who will be train the model. Basically, today you we have some of the resume. You put it in that vector database, right? That is that training that model, or that is different.
It's not training. There is no training. Training will not be done by me. Training will be taken care by the LLMs who have been built it, right? The companies. They will take care of it, Magesh. Whatever I explained to you right now here is, Magesh, it is all about like you are giving your profile. Just you're giving your profile and making a vector DB to save that. That is not a training, right? So tomorrow what will happen? Your vector DB is smart enough. Tomorrow when you come and look for any of the profile, your vector DB will try to go and give you the relevant results. You are not training anywhere. You're storing the data so that in the near future, if I need any profile, it will give me that relevant profile. That's it. Training means you're making a LangChain understand how to split the text, how to use the embeddings. You're not doing that. These are already the skills which are available in LangChain. We are leveraging them to make our use case more powerful and strong. That's it. That is the idea here, Magesh. Okay. Yeah. Over to you, Anirudh.
Yes. So I think you already answered this question. If we
Okay.
want, can we access the data from vector database, or it's not possible?
Yeah. Yes, it can be. It can be possible for us to access the data from the vector database. Ideally, people don't do it because most of the database in the vector database, most of the data is in embeddings only. But yeah, if you wish, you can do that. I mean, that's absolutely fine. That can be taken care. Is what I intend
Okay,
to
it's
say.
in the format of embeddings only. Okay.
Exactly. Ha, correct. That's what.
And second question is, so because I am a tester, I'm thinking whether this can be implemented in testing perspective or not. So is it possible that,
Uh-huh.
let's say, I have made a bunch of test cases and I want to compare that whether the test cases comply with the Jira story which is there or not, so I can match, like we have
Yes.
been matching
Yes.
resumes with this. Okay.
Correct. You can use the LangChain framework and you can also try to play around with that information. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Prashant.
Thank you. Santosh?
Yeah, hi Prashant. So my question is like, suppose I have a data in a data lakes like S3 bucket for banking application. So can I use those data as a LangChain, and how it will be perform in the embedded? Like embedded is also I have data, right?
How you pull in your data, right, Santosh? At the end of the day, this is for everybody. Okay. Whoever is going to pull the data, whatever the data it may be, your LangChain can always take that data. Please don't think just because I have mentioned that the document or PDF we have to take, because it is our use case demands that any text content, anywhere you're bringing in from, either it may be the data source can be your data lake house, or either it may be from the any other platforms. You can just bring the text content, take it to your LangChain. You can run the operations of the splitting, embeddings, storing in vector DB, and then retrieving the result out of it. That is it. Now, which source you bring the text content from, where you bring, that is totally up to us. Now, in my case, I'm talking about PDF. In your case, it may be related to data lake. In other person's case, it may be a prompt. At the end of the day, we all need to understand that it is a text content only. At the end of the day, all this is a text content which you need to take and then utilize it for your purpose and then take it further. That's the main idea behind it. Okay. So this is the clarity which I just want to make it very clear. So now what I'm going to do is, like, whatever the pending questions which have been there, Chetan and Debashish, I will take it up little later, because now I need to go ahead and explain the program, and then after that we'll take a break. So in between, whenever I get some time, the people who have raised hands, okay, will be taking care of those questions also. So right now, let's move ahead, everyone. Hope that every one of you have your Google Colab been readily available. Right? I hope you all are ready with it. Can you just give a thumbs up? Okay, cool. I see that most of you are ready with the Google Colab. Great. Okay, then let's get started, everyone. So now, as you learned, see, this is the beauty of learning theory and practical at the same time, everyone. What will happen in this scenario is, as you already know, okay, as you already know now the core concept of it. So now it will be easier. Like when we do the programming part, I think like most of them you can understand and correlate. Oh, okay, this is embedding. Okay, this is a vector. Okay, this is how you need to pull in the information. So all those things are going to be a little bit more easier for you all to correlate and understand it. Okay, that's the main intent or the idea behind it. So let us take a very basic example right now in our Google Colab, at least just to get an understanding, and then we will create an end-to-end AI agent altogether. Let me share my screen back to you all again. So here is my the application which we need to work upon. So basically, if you see here, right, whatever we have it here currently. So this is one of the application with which we should be able to move ahead and then try to understand like how this is going to play a very, very important role. So first of all, if you see here, what are we trying to do now? Okay, first let's understand what exactly are we trying to do with this particular use case. So let's try to understand the problem statement, and then the program will give us a clear clarity of how to achieve that. See, the problem statement which I want to explain to you here is, imagine everyone, there is a company. Okay, there is a company. Okay, there is a company which is actually hiring a senior Python developer. Okay, there is a company who is looking out for the senior Python developers who are being there. Okay, so company is looking for senior Python developer role. Now what happened? The HR team or the talent acquisition team so received like some 200 plus resumes for this role. Imagine they have received some 200 plus resumes for this role. Now they are looking for is there a way, okay, is there a way like where I can actually automatically I can be able to go ahead and can screen the resumes. Okay, where I can go ahead automatically I can screen my resumes, and that can be done in a very quick manner, because if I sit manually and go through all the 200 plus resumes, either I will skip some or either I will ignore it, and ultimately that can create a problem. So what you need to do, so you need to look, okay, you need to look for a process like where you can automatically screen your resumes, and you need to quickly identify, okay, you need to quickly identify some of the key parameters. Like what are those key parameters? Like let's say here, okay, let us say here very clearly that how well, okay, how well each candidate, okay, let's say that how well each candidate is going to fit the job, that it has to let me know. Okay, and then it also can say me, hey, what skills are present, okay, what skills are actually present in the profile, and say me what are the critical skills which are missing. Okay, say me like what critical skills are currently missing right now, and then you can also give me a short summary. Okay, please give me a short summary, or you give me a verdict. Okay, you give me your verdict as a line chain. You should be able to go ahead and then try to let me know. Okay, you have to give me a short summary or a verdict where you need to be very clear and let me know that whether I have to move forward, okay, that whether I can be able to move forward or whether I can just ignore it. So it should give me the verdict, hey, this profile is great, please go ahead. So it should be able to give me that capability. So this is what we are going to work right now, everyone. So the problem statement, if you see here very clearly, what are we trying to do in this scenario is, we are anyhow building a, again, AI resume screening agent, okay, where it will accept your profile first. Okay, once it accepts your profile, like it will check for, as the company is looking for senior Python developer. So the HR team has received like a lot of overwhelming resumes into their database. Now they need a mechanism where they can automatically screen the resumes, and they can quickly identify that whether this candidate is fit for the job or not as per the skill set, and what skills are present, what are the critical skills which are anything missing here, any short summary or verdict whether to decide to move forward or not. So those things are actually required over here. And then one more important thing, okay, one more important thing which I just want to highlight here to all of you in this scenario is, okay, first thing is what we are going to do as a process. Okay, as a process, what we will try to do, so we'll try to first accept the resume. Okay, we'll try to accept the resume in whatever document you are going to upload it. Okay, it should be able to accept the resume. Then after that, you know, whatever you learned, like it will extract the text content, okay, from the file which has been uploaded. Then after that, it will go ahead, it will try to compare the resume, okay, against what? Against your job description. Okay, it will compare your resume against your job description, everyone. Okay, that is what we are going to do right now. So where it will try to compare your resume against the relevant job description which has been provided for us. Okay, then it will give you all the output. Okay, then it is going to give you a structured output with saying what, like what is the fitment score. Fitment score will be from 0 to 100. So if the value is more, that means you are fit for the particular profile. If the value is less, you're not fit for that particular profile. So it will give you that particular score, like how much is your profile is very correlated to the job description which is provided. And then it will also then show you the output as the top 5 matching skills. Okay, it will be able to provide you this. And then it will also provide you any missing important skills, like any skills if it is missing, it will try to give you that important information. And then finally, one line verdict, either to proceed with your profile or either to not to proceed. All these things will be given as an output for us. That's it. So this is the idea. Okay, this is the idea we need to be here aware about. Like ultimately, this is what we are going to develop right now in the Google Colab, where we are trying to bring in an AI agent for resume screening, where it can automate your resume screening process and your hiring process can become much faster, smarter, and at the same time, it's going to be more reliable at the end of the day. So this is the overall idea which every one of us should be here aware about. Okay. Hope that you all are clear with the problem statement. So this is the problem statement which we are going to focus and then try to complete here, everybody. Okay. So you see that this is what we are going to focus as a problem statement, and let's try to target using LangChain how this can be taken care. So as you have got the understanding of the problem statement here in a clear manner, so now let me take you to the Colab where our code is actually being present, everyone. So right now, before you do any development or any logic you want to implement, right, you all know very clearly that first step is you need to install the packages, because these are your prerequisites, everyone. See, without following the prerequisites, you cannot be able to move ahead with. Let's say whenever you want to create an application, so you need to have a platform, right? Without having the platform, how can you be able to create an application? So you cannot do that. So definitely I need a platform. So on top of that platform, I can be able to create some great applications, and then I can be able to take it further or to the next level. So right now, if you see in this case, we have here something called as where we can install the library. So you see pip install, right? Pip install is nothing but it is like a Python package. Okay, so let me try to highlight it here. So pip install in this case, like this command you see here, right? Why am I saying command? Because when you put at the start exclamatory mark, right, it is no more a code. It will become like a command which you need to install. So pip install means it's a Python package. So as a Python package, I need you to install some of the important things. Like what are those? So inside my Google Colab, -q means quietly try to install them. Okay, -q is nothing but it runs quietly. That means it will give you less output. When you run this, it will give you a less output. It will run quietly at the back end and it will install it for us. Okay, what are all the packages we are trying to install here, everyone? So the packages we are going to install here is one is a LangChain. As a LangChain is required as a framework to build and connect your AI LLMs appropriately. Then you need the LangChain Google Gen AI. Why? Because we are connecting with whom? The Google Gemini. So Google Gemini has its own LangChain. So I need that LangChain Google Gen AI. Okay, it's all one. The LangChain Google Gen AI is nothing but this is another library where it will help you to connect. Okay, this is going to help you to connect to Google Gemini, everyone. Okay, so that's how it is going to be helpful. If you really want to connect to Google Gemini, so LangChain Google Gen AI will help you to connect to your Google Gemini without any constraints or difficulties. Then you have your Python dot environment. This Python dot environment will be helpful for you to load the API keys. So in order to load your API keys and integrate it with any of your LLMs, right, your Python dot environment will be helpful over there. And then you need a PyPDF. PyPDF is another library. This is required for you to read the PDF files. Okay. So in order to read the PDF files, you need the PyPDF as one of the library. So you can take this PyPDF to read the PDF files, and at the same time doc to text. So doc to text is another Python library which is required for you to read the Word documents. Okay, any Word documents if you want to go ahead and read it in the text pattern, right? So definitely doc to text will be helpful over there. I mean, this line, whatever you're seeing that, right, this is all about the tools what we require to be available in the Colab. That's it. So ideally, what are we saying? As a Python package, quietly install the LangChain, which is nothing but the framework to build and integrate with your LLM. Your LangChain Google GenAI is a specific LangChain application where it will help you to connect with your Google Gemini successfully. Then your Python environment will be helpful for you to load your API keys successfully, and then your PyPDF will be helpful for you to read the PDF files. These are all libraries, everyone, which you can use it ready-made, and this can be also for your information. Okay, so that you can, whenever you see them, at least you have an idea that these are all the libraries being meant for different purposes. Okay, and then you have the doc to text where you can read the Word documents. Okay, where you can read your Word documents, and that is your doc to text. Okay, now what we are going to do here is, okay, what we are going to do in this scenario here is, everyone, so let's go ahead. Okay, import the OS. Importing OS means what? The purpose of importing the OS here is it will allow you to interact. Okay, it will allow you to interact with your let's say operating system. Let's say you have your API keys. Okay, if you have your API keys, now let's say you kept your API keys in your environment variable. Now API key is what, everyone, as we discussed in our previous classes, your API keys will be helpful for you to integrate with the let's say the external LLMs. Okay, so I hope like, did we cover that, right? Like Google Gemini, like Google AI Studio, I've shown you how to create an API key, and I mean, I've already shown you those things, right? How to create an API key, and then you can utilize it. I think in one of our classes did we discuss? I just want to confirm that once. Let me see in the chat. Yeah, we have seen that, right? Okay, thank you. Thank you for confirming. Yeah, I just got confirmed, like just got confused that whether did we discuss or not. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for acknowledging that. So right now, if we see here, okay, right now if we see here very clearly, these are the important things we need to consider, like where it plays a very, very important role. Okay, perfect. So as you see here, everyone, like what we are trying to do is importing the OS is here nothing but you're trying to have your API keys where you can interact with it and can take it to the next level. Okay. Now, what are we trying to say here from the Google Colab? Okay, import the files. That means whatever file which gets uploaded, whatever the files you're going to upload or download inside the Colab, you can import those files. Okay, and then import the user data. User data means what? User data is nothing but the access secrets, that's API keys, right? As I said that you can store your API keys here in the secrets. So whatever in the secrets, you're going to store the API key, right? That API key will be imported over here as a user data. So whatever the API key we have added here, like where we discussed, right, how to import it. So when you see that the importing is been done successfully over here, so we are saying that, hey, I already have my API key available, so you can import the user data from there. Okay, so that it can be able to import the API keys, whatever is required, and you can be able to leverage it. So this is the point. So from the Google.Colab, you can import your files, which will allow you to upload or download the files inside the Google Colab. And the user data is nothing but it will help you to store and access all the secrets like API keys inside your Google Colab. Okay, this is what we require. And then, okay, then what are the next things which are available here? Now, if you see the remaining things which are being present here is, if you observe the first one, okay, so this is what you are trying to do. You are importing the chat Google generative AI. So this is required, like this is going to bring in the Google Gemini generative AI, so you can talk it from the LangChain. If you really want to talk from the LangChain, this is the engine which will generate the answers for us. Okay, this is the engine which will generate the answers from the Google Gemini. So that is the reason we are importing the chat Google generative AI, where it will be really helpful for us to generate any answers. So this is going to play an important role. Then after that, you see the next one which we have is the PyPDF loader, doc to text loader, and then the text loader. These three things, these are the document loaders. Ultimately, these three things are going to convert the files into a plain text content. So PyPDF loader will load the PDF file. The doc to text loader will load the Word documents, that is the .docs files. Text loader will upload the .text files. These are like these are like a different libraries which are required for different types of files, whatever we are going to provide it. Okay, so PDF file will be the PyPDF. Doc to text loader will take up the Word documents, that's a dot docs files. Text loader will take up the dot text files like this. Okay. So that's how, I mean, you can take it into consideration. Then you see that everyone, somebody has asked me, what is that we are going to use for the text splitter here? Recursive character text splitter is what we use it. Okay, recursive character text splitter. So this tool will split, okay, this tool is going to split the big document into smaller chunks. Okay, like whatever we discussed theoretically, that can be possible by the recursive character text splitter over here, everyone. Because recursive character text splitter here is going to play a very important role where it can just go ahead and can break the big document into smaller chunks, like breaking the entire text content into paragraph. So for that, you need a recursive character text splitter, which is one of the, let's say, library within the LangChain. Then the next one I need is here is a prompt template, everyone. Okay, so prompt template is like, again, it's a template where you can just give in what way you want to see the result. Instead of giving the option to the Gen AI, what you can say is that this is the template I'm giving you. Try to adjust the result into this template. Whatever template I provide to you, try to adjust the result to that particular template and give me the information. Is the prompt template. Okay, and then you have something called as str output parser. You remember we discussed this also. So str output parser is nothing but this will convert your AI response into a clean and structured pattern. Okay, this will convert your result whatever you have into a clean and structured way to see the results in a better manner. So instead of any messy response, you will get the plain text being provided to us. And finally, you need to import your LLM chain, everyone. Okay, the LLM chain will connect all the pieces together into a chain. Like let's say, first the loader will come into the picture, then loader will load the files, then there is a splitter which will split the files, then there will be a prompt which will give the instruction what to do, then it will go to the LLM, and finally it will go to parser where it will give you the structured output. So LLM chain will make sure that all of them are followed in a sequential pattern like a chain and then get the relevant output out of it. So that is what your LLM chain is basically going to do. So this is the overall process here, everyone. If you see, this is your overall process which we need to go ahead with. So everyone is having their own key things which they are going to work upon. Chat Google Generative AI is going to act like a Gemini AI engine to generate the answers. File readers are there to support different types of files. Recursive character text splitter is there for splitting the big text into smaller chunks. Prompt template is there, the instructions which we can give to the AI model or the AI agent. Parser is there to clean up the AI output in a structured pattern. LLM chain is being there to tie everything together in the form of a chain and give the response. So each one of them have their own capability with which we can be able to move ahead with. And these are all are the important libraries within your LangChain. See, everywhere there is a LangChain common. So LangChain is giving you all these important libraries where it can support different types of things, and it can be easier for all of us to utilize these libraries and move forward. That is the main idea behind it, everyone. Okay, so now once you're done with this part, the next step you need to focus upon here is this is the configuration part, everyone. So already you may be aware about it, right? So this is something which we were been doing like even before also. So what we are trying to do here, we are simply going ahead and saying that, hey, take the user data, which is nothing but where I have mentioned my Google API key. So please pick up the Google API key, which I already provided in the user data in the Google Colab. So please pick up the API key, whatever I have been able to provide it to you. So please utilize that API key as a secret from my end. So take that API key into consideration, and after taking that API key into consideration, then what we are going to do here in this case is we are giving the configuration. So the configuration, you can give whatever the model you want. So I am giving the model here as a Gemini 2.5 Flash. Okay, and that is nothing but one of the latest models available in the Gemini. And then on top of that, you are also giving the temperature as 0.3. Temperature talks about how much random it is. Okay, like let's say 0 to 1 is the range, 0 being very consistent, 0 to 0.5 will give you consistent answer. Anything more 0.5, that creativity will increase. So you can handle your temperature, like it controls your creativity, like more the value, more creativity, lower the value, less will be the creativity. The range is 0 to 1. Okay, and then I'm also saying here that, okay, whatever the response which is going to come from the Google Gemini, as I'm using Google, right? So I'm using the str output parser over here, where I'm saying that whatever output you're going to get, okay, whatever the output you're going to get, this str output parser will help me to see that text content in a very structured pattern, so that we can only be able to see the details in a very clear way without any challenges or difficulties. Okay, so this str output parser will play a very important role for all of us to read the content in a structured pattern without any difficulties or constraints. So that is the idea we need to understand. So first line, what we are trying to do, we are setting up the Google Gemini API key so that we will authenticate and we will be able to allow to enter into it. After that, we are ensuring what model we want to use it in Gemini. And then the output, whatever it is going to come up with, should be in a proper structured text pattern so that we can understand it in a clear way. So that is the reason we are using even the output parser over here, everybody. So now the next one is I'm going to give a prompt template, everyone. So prompt template is nothing but, so whatever the prompt template you're going to give. So prompt template is nothing but it's an instruction. Okay, so prompt template here is going to act like an instruction where we are going to give it as an instruction, and that instruction will be able to help your AI model to generate the response as per the template, whatever you're going to provide it. So let me just guide you there. How would a prompt template would look like? See here, everyone. This is how your prompt template is going to look like. Okay, so here is where I'm mentioning my template, that how it is actually gonna look like. So first of all, here is where I am giving the instructions. Okay, this is my instructions which I am actually trying to provide it to our AI model. Okay, so what are we trying to do here? We are giving the instructions for the AI. Okay, that you are a AI resume screener. Okay, you should act like a resume screener, and then you need to compare the following resume with the job description. See, job description, I did not provide any description here. You see that? I just kept a variable called as job description. So what does this mean, you know, everyone? See here, job description, and here resume text. Both of them are the dynamic variables. That means what will happen is these are like placeholders right now. These are like a placeholders. Whatever I'm highlighting here, right? These are your placeholders. So these values will be filled dynamically. Okay, these values are going to be filled dynamically. That means once the agent works, then you can provide your job description, whatever you want, and then you can provide your resume text. Okay, so ultimately both the values you can pass it later. At this point you can ignore it, but you have the flexibility. Whenever you put a variable like this, you can submit this data again at any point of time without any constraints. And then I'm saying that, hey, I want you to give me the reply like this. So I'm putting a restriction here saying that you have to give me the reply only in this way, not in the way how you want. I am restricting you by giving a prompt template that you need to follow this approach and give me the result. So give me a fitment score first. Give me the top 5 matching skills. Give me the missing important skills, and give me the one line verdict. So here is where you're setting up a template in what way your AI model like Gemini should be able to go ahead and respond to you. That is the main idea. And we are using some variables where these variables can be filled later also. If you don't know anything, create a variable and leave it. That you can fill it later at any point of time. They will act like a placeholders at this point of time. Okay. And this is how I want the result to be provided, is what we are trying to very clearly, specifically, we are mentioning it over here, everyone. Okay, so that is the main idea we need to be here knowing about. And then the next one in this scenario, if you see, so what am I trying to do? So I'm just mentioning that prompt template. Okay, so here is where I'm just mentioning a prompt template. Whatever the template I have given at the top, just now we discussed, I'm saying to take that as a template. I'm saying that, okay, as a prompt, take the template whatever I have been able to provide, and I need input variables. I need to know two variables. One is the job description, another one is the resume text. I need these two variables to be filled in. So what are you trying to say? I'm creating a prompt, and please follow the prompt template. Within the prompt template, I have a variable called as a template. Take that template into consideration, what I just discussed right now. So take the template, and I'm just saying that I need to input two variables, that is job description and resume text, which is still not been available. Okay, and here is your LLM chain, everyone. Here is your LLM chain. What is that your LLM chain is doing? It is trying to tie everything together. Now it is trying to tie everything together. That is, LLM, you have to take the LLM as your Gemini model. You have to take the prompt, whatever I have been able to provide it here, that is the instructions which will be taken into consideration. And then you have the output parser, which will make your output look in a very clean and in a structured format. So now LLM chain is taking your LLM configuration, which we already provided at the top, the API key. It is taking the prompt, that is the instructions, whatever we have here defined it. Okay, in this case, this is the prompt. Output parser will make sure that the output is coming in a very clean manner. Okay, so this is how LLM chain will try to connect all of them and will come up with the final verdict where we will see all those details appropriately. Okay, now the next part, whatever you see here, right, in this case. Okay, so the next part, whatever is available over here, okay, let me try to explain to you. So what is happening here, you're trying to upload your resume. Okay, so what it is trying to do in this entire cases, this is all about the Python code. Okay, it's not much related to AI. So what we are trying to say, we want to show a message to the user. We want to show a message where we want to print and say that, hey, like you can go ahead and upload your resume file. So please upload your resume, and these are the files which is supported. And whatever the upload is going to happen, so using this function files.upload, the file will be uploaded. Okay, it will give the user to upload a file where they can choose and can pick their own resume, and that can be uploaded here in the files.upload. Okay, and then we are doing a safety check here, everyone. So if you don't upload anything, let's say if you have not uploaded anything, then it will stop the program with error saying that there is no file uploaded into it. Okay, so if you upload a file, well and good. If you don't upload the file, then this is going to work and it will throw you an error saying that no file has been uploaded into it. Okay, and if the file has been uploaded, then it will give you the file name here. Okay, it will just go ahead, it will get the name for the uploaded file. Like let's say it will just get the file like, hey, whatever the file is there, right? myresume.pdf, something like that. Okay, and then this will be stored in your resume path. This will be stored in this variable called as a resume path so that you can use it later whenever you want. So whenever you want, you can use this resume path where it will give you all the information, whatever you require. Okay, so that is how it is going to play as an important role. So let's say you have uploaded first time, it will be 0. Next time when you upload, it will become 1. Like next time again you upload 2. Like this, the number will keep increasing. How many times you upload, those many times the number will keep increasing. Now here is where we are saying that detect the file type. So we are saying that if it ends with .pdf, then use the PyPDF loader which we have with us. If the file ends with .docs, then please use the docs to text loader. Otherwise, if it is a text file, you can use your text loader. Okay, this will make sure that the program knows how to read your file appropriately. So these lines will ensure that your program is aware that how it actually needs to read the file appropriately. And ultimately here is where the text will be loaded. Okay, so what this loader.load will do, it will read the actual content. It will go ahead and will try to read the actual content of the resume file, and then it will store it in the documents. So now your resume text is ready for the AI to process and then take it further, everyone. Okay, so this is how you can identify. Whether if it is a PDF or a doc or maybe a text, then you give the respective loaders and they will try to read the file. Okay, so basically, and if it is, you're also getting an operation to upload your file where you can upload your file, and if you're not uploading the file, it will throw the error saying no file uploaded. And if you have uploaded the file will be given a name, and then you will see that number of times if you keep uploading the same file, then the number will keep increasing from 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. It will check your extension and will assign the related file reader, and then it will load your file and it will store it in the documents, everyone. So that is the point we need to understand over here. So now after this is completed, so we will move on to the next important thing, everyone, that is how to split. Okay, how are we going to split? Already we learned, right, how to split it. So you can be able to go ahead and can use the splitter over here. Okay, so what are we trying to do? We are using the recursive character text splitter, everyone. So here we are using the recursive character text splitter, as this can break the big text into smaller chunks. So we are giving the chunk size here to be 1000, where each chunk can have up to 1000 characters, and the chunk overlap, what we already discussed, right? So each new chunk will overlap the previous one by 200 characters. so that we are not losing the context in the process. Okay, this is the configuration for chunking. We can use the recursive character text splitter, where it will try to break the big text into smaller chunks, everyone. And whatever the chunk size you see here as 1,000, each chunk can break up to 1,000 characters, and then each new chunk can overlap with the previous 200 characters, not to lose any context in the process. Okay, then ultimately you will see that, okay, it will take your uploaded resume. It will take your uploaded resume, that is nothing but it, which is there in the docs. Okay, where is the docs, everyone? Here. So here is the docs. You see that? In this docs, I have stored everything. So I'm taking the docs and I'm trying to split it. Okay, so that that's where your resume would be there. Now your resume will become a very smaller and smaller units. It will be further broken down into, and then you will put it back together here, everyone. Okay, you will join all the chunks. Okay, see here, there is a dot join, right? The join will try to join all your chunks, text content which is available. All those contents will be joined one by one, and then you will remove any extra spaces. Let's say why this is important, you know, the one which I'm highlighting here. This is important because you need to keep joining. Let's say once the 1,000 text characters have been split into, like let's say they have been split into, now the next one which is going to come, it should overlap with the previous one. Now, how is that going to happen? You need to join them. You need to join to the existing content, okay, and then take it further. Dot strip means you have to remove the spaces. The dot strip will remove if there are any extra spaces, it will remove. So final result here will be, it will clean your resume altogether. It will clean your resume altogether. It will make the text ready for the AI to go through it. And then this is again a safety check. I mean, you don't need to like go into it, but otherwise, let's say it just says that if no text is found, if there is no text available, let's say you have sent it an empty file, then the program will stop with an error saying that, hey, I could not extract the text from the uploaded file because it is empty. What is that? I can go ahead and extract and split it if the document itself is empty. So you can run something like this and say that, hey, I cannot extract the text because it's an empty file, and the program will stop with an error over here. But if everything is fine, so it will try to break it into chunks, like as you see here very clearly, it will try to break it into 1,000 characters, and you can overlap the 200 characters and you can join them. You can join them and make sure that they are coming up with an effective output. If there are any extra spacings, we can remove and can take it to the next level. Okay, and then you see the analysis. Okay, here is where I'm providing the analysis. You remember, everyone, job description, it is a dynamic value. I did not add anything to it. So I'm leaving the job description. I'm just providing that value right now here. Okay, I'm providing the job description here. This is the job posting text, imagine. This is like your job posting text where I'm providing the description very clearly over here. This is my description. So you tell the AI what the company is actually looking for. So we want a senior Python developer who knows about Python, SQL, cloud, and all this LangChain, LLM, and data analysis. This is my job description. Okay. Now the chain.run, what it will do is it will fill the prompt template. Basically, it will fill the prompt template, everyone. One is the job description, which I am providing it over here. Another one is the resume text content. So whatever the text content which the user is going to upload the resume, right, it will be here. So that is what is the resume which should be taken up. Okay, that is how your resume should be there. So what it will try to do, so the text which we extract from the uploaded file here, the resume text, this is the text which will be extracted from the uploaded file. So that is going to be your resume text content, and the job description is I have been able to provide it over here. Okay. Now, once this is being set up appropriately, right, once this part is being set up appropriately, then you have to print the result. That's it. So now what you need to do here is where you are going to print the result. You can just print by saying that, hey, raw output, so that just it will print out whatever Gemini has replied. So again, so print result means it will just go ahead and fit to the prompt template, whatever you provided. So whatever the prompt template you have provided, right here, see the result, whatever is going to come, you're printing it. So whatever prompt template you gave, it will fit to the template and will give you the profile, whatever is required. That is it. This is the thing which you need to work upon, everyone. Again, I'm going to explain to you one more time, and after that we'll go for a break. Then I will, once you come back from the break, I'll give you the file where you all can be able to play around and can just extract the relevant information, whatever is needed. Okay. See, again, I'm just going to let you all know, observe to it very carefully. So what are we trying to do as a first step, everyone? We are trying to get all the prerequisites. Okay, we are trying to get all the prerequisites getting installed in our system. So ultimately, what are the prerequisites we have over here? So the first prerequisite which you see right here, we are installing all the libraries in a very quiet manner. That is our LangChain, where it can help us to build the AI pipelines. Then the Google Gen AI, the LangChain Google Gen AI, which will help us connected to the Google Gemini model. Then we have a Python environment, which will let us load the API keys appropriately. And then we have a PyPDF to read the PDF files. And then we have the doc to text, which will help us to read the Word documents. Then here we are importing all the libraries, whatever is required. So we are importing OS to read the API keys. We are importing the files so that it can support the files in the Google Colab. We are importing the user data where the API keys are available. We are importing the chat Google generative AI, which will act as an engine to generate the responses from the Google Gemini, everyone. And then we have here the document loader. That's a PyPDF for PDF, documents for doc, and then the text loader for the text content. Okay. Then you have the recursive character text splitter. This will be helpful for you to split the text content in an easier manner. Then you have a prompt template where you can provide the template and the AI can generate the response as per the template what you provided. str output parser will help you out to read the response in a structured pattern. And then you have your LLM chain, which will join all the pieces together and will give you the final output. Okay. Then later what did we do? We just configured the API keys here. Okay. We were able to go ahead and get from the user data whatever the API key which is required for us to authenticate and validate. Then later we were able to go ahead and give the model that this is the model I want to use it in Gemini, and here is the temperature which I want to use for creativity. More the temperature, more creativity, less the temperature. It will be less creative, but it will come with a very appropriate response. Okay. str output parser is required for you to give the response in a structured pattern rather than giving some messy data. Okay. Then we are setting up the prompt template here, everyone, where I'm saying that this is my template here. Okay. Where I'm highlighting that here is the template as a variable, and within the template I'm saying like, hey, you act like an like let's say AI resume screener, and here are the two respective global variables are there, like job description and the resume text. So these two details I'm filling at the bottom of my program. Okay, these are right now placeholders, and here I have given a template that in this template I want you to give me the result. Like fit score, top 5 matching skills, missing important skills, one line verdict. Give me all this information is what I'm trying to let you know. Okay. Then I'm saying that, hey, in my prompt template, I would request you to have the template what I defined here at the top. Okay, so get that template, and then later make sure that you take two input variables as job description and resume text so that you can add it appropriately. Now this is my chain, everyone, where within my chain I'm connecting my LLM. Where did I provide my LLM details? Here, everyone. This is my LLM details. This is my variable. Okay. Here, this is my LLM where I'm very clearly saying that this is the model which I want in this case. That is the LLM I'm passing here. And then where is the prompt here? Here is the prompt where I'm giving the standard template. Where is the output parser? Output parser is nothing but it will just take the structured output and will try to give you the relevant response. Okay, here you have the output parser. Okay, so whatever response will come, that will be present in a very structured pattern is what we are trying to highlight it over here. Then after that, what we are saying, so whenever you're uploading your profile, so it will say that, hey, please upload your resume. Then it will upload the file over here. And if the file is not uploaded, it will simply say that, hey, no file has been uploaded. If the file is uploaded successfully, what it will try to do, it will list you that particular file by providing the file name and then the related value. If you have uploaded the same file 5 times, it will give you the same file by providing a 5 at the bracket saying that you have uploaded that 5 times. And then what it will try to do, it will detect the file whatever you provided. If it is a PDF, PyPDF will come into the picture. If it is a document, the doc to text will come into the picture. If it is a text, the text loader will come into the picture. Ultimately, whatever the file is there, that file will get loaded and it will be stored in the docs. Okay. So that's the point we need to understand. Okay. So that's the point we need to understand. Like what is going to happen is whatever the file you have, you're going to upload that particular file and then you will be storing it in the docs. That's it. And now you take that file, see here, the docs is what here. That's the file which we have here stored inside it. Now you take that file here, you split that into like 1000 characters and overlap of 200 characters. so that it can set up the context appropriately, and it will keep joining all those split which is going to happen. It will keep joining that content one by one. Okay, it will keep joining all those content one by one, and it will be able to proceed further. So whatever the content is there, it will try to keep joining that content, and then it will just keep going like that, so that your AI can understand it. Let's say if you have uploaded a file which is not having any text content, then it will throw an error saying that I could not extract the text, whatever you were able to provide it. Now here is where we are storing the, we are providing the value for the job description. Where is the job description here, everyone? Here, this one. Okay, so now we are providing the value to this placeholder. So the value to the placeholder is here. So we are hiring a senior Python developer with experience in Python, SQL, Cloud, LangChain, LLM tools, and data analysis. And whatever the result which is going to come, whatever the result which it is going to extract, so that will be provided here. See, job description, job DESC, where it is present here. Okay, this is the one. So I'm saying that please go ahead and add to this placeholder here. Okay, I'm just providing that value in this case, everyone. You see that here, this is the one. Okay, and then for resume, so for your resume text here, whatever the text it is going to join, so that text content you can be able to add it over here. So what are we trying to do? The two placeholders which are left in the template is getting filled over here. That is getting filled over here, everyone. So you see that here there is a job description where it will go ahead and try to fetch the information from here in this job description. And then you have the resume text where the text will be split here, and that will be added in your respective profile. So once it is done, finally it will print you the result. What result you want here? Whatever the result which will be generated here, right? That result will be printed. So now when I go ahead and run this cell, okay, when I go ahead and then try to run this cell, so whenever you want to run the cell, there is an option here to run the cell. So let me see whether if it is going to work appropriately or not. Okay, so it is trying to install all the relevant packages which are required. Okay, so LangChain community we require. Okay, so no worries. we are using LangChain community. Okay, so here what are we trying to do is we are trying to use the LangChain community, everyone. So probably you also will be able to get the same error. Okay, you also will be able to get the same error. And what it is trying to say here very clearly, it says there is no module. Okay, there is no module called as the LangChain community over here. Okay, so what I need to do then? That means it's very clearly saying you that, hey, I'm not able to find out the LangChain which is being present over here. So how can I be then able to get this? So that's the point we need to understand over here. So what I will try to do here is, okay, I will try to install the LangChain community for all of you. So for that, what you need to do, you just need to say pip install LangChain community. Okay, you have to just say that pip install LangChain community. So it will be able to go ahead and install it successfully. That is the main thing we need to understand here. So let's say I'll take one of the cell here, and then you need to just say pip install. Okay, and then you can just say that LangChain. Okay, and then you can also say here, okay, LangChain community. Instead of this, I'll say LangChain community. Okay, so what it will try to do here is it should be able to go ahead, install your LangChain community where it says that I'm not able to identify the LangChain. So it should be able to go ahead and run. So yeah, let it run. Meanwhile, I don't want to now disturb. Let's talk about the output. Let's talk about the output after the break. But what I want you all to understand here is, let me restart the session. Okay, so it is trying to install it, right? So it will take some time to go ahead and install. See, so it's just trying to going ahead and then trying to install. So I have restarted my session. So you can just say restart. Now let me try to run it one more time, the code. Let's see whether if it is still creating the same problem. If it is, then we'll try to discuss after the break, at least the output part. Because whatever the program is required, at least the program part we were been able to complete it successfully. So the line chain community we were able to install because when it said, okay, awesome. Now we got it here, everyone. See, you see that it's asking me to choose the file. Okay, it's asking me to choose the file. Let me choose the file here. Let me go ahead, choose any random file. I have some file like here. There's a resume, Michael resume. Let me try to open this. Okay, now the Michael resume is getting proceeded further. Let's see if it can come up. See, when it gets embedding, right? When it tries to throw, go through embedding process, sometimes it goes ahead and then tries to, it will sometimes go ahead and try to give us a great output. Sometimes what happens is in embedding, when it is trying to create that text splitting and all, whatever it is trying to do, right? Sometimes it will throw that error. This error is nothing but, don't get confused with this error. This error is not related to our let's say whatever we are trying to do in the program, it's not related to that. Sometimes AI will try to check the content from the PDF. Sometimes it fails, sometimes it gets succeeded. So whenever it fails, it will throw the error like this. But don't worry, it will try to fetch all the information and it will move ahead with. Now see the great thing, everyone. See the output. First it gave the fit score. That means the profile what you have added, that profile only matches out of 100, 45 is the score for that. Out of 100, 45 is the score for that particular profile, everyone. Where you see here very clearly, this is my job role. You observe here, everyone, this is my job role which I am providing it. Now, when this is my job role, which I have been able to provide it here, to this particular job role, whatever the profile you have uploaded, it just says that, hey, my fit score is only 45. And then what are the top 5 matching skills here? One is a SQL, data analysis, Python, seniority, and database management. These are the top 5 matching skills. Missing important skills. Cloud is not there, LangChain is not there, LLM is not there, demonstrated Python development experience, these are not there. These are missing information. And the one-line verdict. One-line verdict is the candidate possesses very strong SQL and data analysis skills with some good amount of IT experience, but significantly lacks the specific modern Python development, cloud, LangChain, and LLM tools required for this role. So ultimately, you are not going to take this person further because it gave a very clear verdict that saying that they lack the modern Python development, cloud, LangChain, and LLM tools required for this role. So what is actually required is not present. So you can see that like this. You can keep uploading the profiles and you don't need to do anything. Just simply the score will be provided. What are the top 5 matching skills? What are the missing important skills? And one line verdict. Now you have seen the output which it was able to provide, right? You have customized the output whatever way you wanted it. You did not give the control to your LLM saying that you give me the response in this manner. You actually said that, hey, I am going to control you by giving my prompt template so that you have to give me the response only in a way how I wanted to see it. That is the significance of a prompt template, everyone. If you observe here, if you observe in this case, right, the template. See, if you give a template like this, then the result also will be given as per the template. See what it is trying to do. As per the template, you're saying that you are an AI resume screener and make sure that you go ahead and compare the job description and give me the result. See, this is how the result should be. And it followed the same thing. It followed the same thing and it is trying to give it to all of you here. See, it's able to go ahead and give me first the fit score, then the top 5 matching skills, then the missing important skills, and then the one-line verdict. What else we require? So it has given us all the information, whatever we need, and it will be very much helpful for all of us to take it to the next level, everyone. So this is the main idea of how you can be able to execute and run it. So what I will do is, I will give you a 10 minutes break right now because you have been listening extensively. After you come back, okay, after you come back, then I will again explain this code one more time. Okay, meanwhile in the break, I will prepare a document and I will send it over in the chat. Whenever you come back, you can download the document and can start preparing the code from your end. Okay, or otherwise, what I can do is, let me share this file itself. Okay, let me share this file itself so that it will be easier. And let me not anyone with the link. I'll give you the view access so that you can directly access it. Okay, instead of creating a document, sending it over, let me send it to everyone. Okay, so I've just shared the entire link for the Google Colab where you can view. You create your own file in the Google Colab, try to go through my code, and before, if it's throwing any error, try to run this command. Okay, Just install the LangChain and LangChain community so that you can be able to leverage it without any concerns. Okay. And yeah, I mean, remember one thing, the API key should be there in the secrets and it should be enabled like this. Otherwise, it will throw error. You have to enable the API key, go through the program one by one. After the break, again, I will explain the code to all of you so that you can understand the code in a very clear manner and you can execute from your end. Okay, and after that, I will take up all the questions, everyone. So right now, let's take a 10 minutes break. Let's be back by 9:41. Okay, after that, I will only explain one more time the same code and we'll take up all the questions, whatever you have. So meanwhile, if anybody is interested, can execute and can be able to run it in your Google Colab as I've already shared the file to all of you. Okay, so let's go for a break. Within this break's time, I will upload the file, what the people were asking, right, in the day 2 session, whatever we were able to work upon. Meanwhile, I will also share that to all of you so that you can access it. Okay, thanks everyone. Let's meet again after next 10 minutes. Okay, hope everybody is back. Hey everyone, I've just shared everything in the main chat. Okay, people who were looking for the day 2 session, I've just shared the day 2 session, mentioning it as a day 2 session, and I've also shared the entire Google Colab file so that you can be able to access it from your end. And the current session, that is today. Today's part also I've already shared it in the Google Colab in the main chat, so you can please access it from there. And the LangChain official documentation also I've been able to add it to all of you, everyone. Okay, so please go ahead and then try to access those documents. The people who had a concern for the day 2, I already have uploaded, as I committed that in the break I'll be sharing it to all of you. So day 2 also I was able to fetch the information and I've shared the Google Colab link. By any chance, if any one of you have missed, please download and save it. And the today's session also I've already shared it. Okay, in the main chat, please download and put it aside. Okay, so I will also upload it in the respective LMS portal also for sure, but make sure, okay, that you are going to take that information and save it right now. Okay, so that it will be easier. Now, the people, how many of you are done with it? Anybody who has completed it, you can give a thumbs up. You don't need to mention that in the chat if you are done with it. Okay, I see already Nandakishore done. Good. Okay, a lot of people. Deepthi, Prakash. Okay, awesome, awesome. Great, great. Hey, good everyone. I mean, you are all able to create a resume screening agent where you can filter your resume also. Like, let's say you see a job description anywhere, this agent will help you. You replace the job description with the requirement and put your profile and see how much you fit to that particular role. Instead of giving to HR and then trying to identify, I mean, you can just play around in whatever different way you want, but just letting you all know. See, now I know there are a couple of questions here, okay, which I will answer. Don't worry. We'll definitely answer them and take it further. But before that, let me, as I committed, right, let me try to explain it one more time. Then I will say what we have for tomorrow. I mean, the same case study, we will do it in a little different way. Okay, that what we are going to do tomorrow also I'll explain to you. And then after which, okay, then after which, whatever questions you all have, I'm going to take it one by one. So now everybody just observe here. First of all, what did we see here? We have bring in all the prerequisites which are required for us, right? We brought the LangChain Google Gen AI, okay? The Python dot environment, PyPDF, doc to text. All these are required for what purpose, everyone? These are all required for me to install it as a prerequisite because LangChain will help me to build and integrate with the LLM pipelines. LangChain Google Gen AI, this will be helpful for me to connect to the Google Gemini models. Python dot environment will help me to load those API keys, and PyPDF will be helpful for me to read the PDF files, and doc to text will help me to read the Word documents. That's it. And then after that, I'm importing all the relevant files here. Okay, first I'm importing the files which can help me to load the files in the Google Colab. Then user data is where my API keys are being kept as a secret. Then again here I'm using the chat Google generative AI, which is going to act like an engine to generate the response from the Google Gemini. Then we have something called as the PyPDF, and then you have the doc to text, text loader. These are all required for you to read the files. Okay, based on the different formats whatever you are using. Recursive character text splitter is required for us to split the text content, everyone. Okay, it will split the text content so that our AI can internally understand it. Prompt template will help you to create a template where you can provide a prompt using whatever the template you want, and it will be able to generate the response to us. And then string output parser is going to help us out in order to get a response in a very structured pattern. LLM chain will connect all the dots together and it will be able to give us the response. Okay, that's it. Then again, we are setting up here the API key, everyone, where we are picking up the API key from the Google secrets, the Google Colab secret here. And then we are providing the model, what model we want to use it in Google Gemini, which is the latest one. Temperature is again the randomness which we are trying to control it over here. And string output parser is where you can see a structured response being provided to us. Then here is where we are providing the template, everybody, that this is how I need my response to be present. So I'm just saying that as an AI resume screener, I want you to go ahead and follow the standard template like this. Okay, and then I am putting job description and resume text as a placeholders here, everyone. So that these placeholders can be used anywhere in my program at any point of time. At this point, I don't know. So I created this variable and left it as a placeholder over here. Then what next? Then I'm saying that, hey, my prompt should follow the prompt template. Within my prompt template, whatever the template I've given at the top, please take the template into consideration. And I need to provide the input for two parameters, that is job description and resume text, which I need to work upon. Okay. Then within your chain, right, within your LLM chain, your LLM chain is meant for what purpose? It is meant to connect the dots, right? So in my LLM chain, I'm first providing my LLM over here. Okay, first I'm providing my LLM, then I'm providing the prompt, and then I'm providing the output parser to give me the response in a structured pattern. Now here is where I'm saying please upload your resume. See, that is the reason you see that it just talks about please upload your resume here. Why? Because we asked it to print it, so it will try to print that. And if the file gets uploaded, well and good. If the file doesn't get uploaded, then you can say no file has been uploaded. And if the file has been uploaded, you will be given a file here, name. See, you see that? It gave the file name as michaelresume.pdf. And where did the file been fetched? Because of this function, okay? Where it will list you the uploaded file. And then if it is a PDF, PyPDF will come into the picture. If it is a, let's say, if it is something else like a document, it will pick up that respective doc to text loader. If it is a, let's say, your text document, it will pick up the text loader. And then it will load your file and it will store it in the documents folder or in the documents variable. So once it is completed, then you see that here very clearly, there is a recursive character text splitter where it will split your text content into 1000 characters and 200 characters overlap. Where, to which content it will do, whatever the document you have loaded here. That is the reason you see there is a docs, which is a variable we are using it to split it. Now after that, you're going to join it. You're going to join all those splitted text content you have to keep joining so that your AI can understand at the end of the day. And there is one exception here which I mentioned, as long as your resume text is there, well and good. But if your resume text is not there, then it will simply say that I could not extract the text from the uploaded file. Okay. And here is where I'm providing my job description. So I'm looking for, so you can replace here the job description with whatever the new description you want to provide it. And then the resume text is nothing but the text content, whatever you're going to provide. Okay, from the file, the text will be taken up and it will split, and then ultimately it will come up with a meaningful result. Okay, and then you can print the result. Okay, so in the result, you can provide your job description. Okay, in the result here, you can provide your job description in this case, and then your resume text. So job description is what we are providing it over here. Now then you are going to print the result. So Google Gemini will go ahead and it will ask you to provide your profile. You provide your resume or your profile. It will take that into consideration. It will map it with the job description. So first it will come up with a fit score, that how much is your profile is going to fit for the job role, whatever you are providing. What are your top 5 matching skills for that particular job role? What are the missing skills which is not present in your profile, which is not aligned with the job description, and then giving the one-line verdict over here. Okay, so this is the understanding which you all need to be aware about. Okay, so this is the most important thing. Now here what you need to understand is, okay, we covered only up to splitting. We did not cover about the vector DB and embeddings. Vector DB and embeddings are reserved for tomorrow. Here is the code for that. Okay, tomorrow what we will do is we will create an end-to-end application, everyone. So here I'm going to explain to you, this is what end-to-end, we may require an entire class for this. Okay, So that is the reason. If you see here, okay, so yeah, we need to go with the resume processor. You see here vector store. I will explain to you tomorrow all these things. Okay, we have it in pipeline. So tomorrow we will discuss here. There is a vector store, how to store in vector store. Okay, and you see that here the template. Most of the things will be easy because already what we discussed right now will be there. See, embeddings. Okay, what model we are going to use for embeddings. Tomorrow will be pretty exciting class again because whatever you learned today, same thing will be there with two more additional parameters where you are going to create your own embeddings. Okay, where you are going to see that how we are going to store that embeddings in where we are going to store everyone. We are going to store that in our vector store. That is a vector database. So tomorrow, that is outlined for tomorrow. Right now, I don't want to target because it will become very overwhelming, everyone. Because this is not something where I can adjust and fit everything and say that my job is completed. I don't want to do that. I want you to learn whatever 2 to 3 examples you're learning in the class, you have to learn it in a very perfect manner. So let's dedicate tomorrow where we will create an end-to-end application altogether. Okay, where we will try to create an end-to-end application where now right now what you're doing in the Google Colab. So in the Google Colab, whatever you have done, that is, if you have done till here, right, you have done an excellent job, I will say. Because many of them, they don't even know how to create an agent, but today you're creating an agent, at least forget about HR and everything. At least for your benefit, it will be helpful. Tomorrow when you're applying for the job role, instead of depending and giving money to some companies where they are looking for your profile and all, here only you can go ahead and do, because for them also these agents are present. Now just what you have to do is provide the job description to whatever company you're applying here. That's it. And then run the code. And then you upload your profile and then check where you're lacking. Prepare accordingly. Make sure that those keywords have been added in your resume or your CV, and then you send it over to the people. Right? So there is an agent with you now where you can be able to go ahead and create your own profile, create your own resume and tweak it in whatever way you want, and then just go for your interviews and get tracked and ultimately get the job. If you're already doing job, you can use it for the people who are requiring some assistance or help from you all. Okay, so this is how you need to play around. So tomorrow's agenda will be like, again, I'll just set up the agenda for tomorrow and then I'll take up all the questions. Okay, so tomorrow's agenda will be, everyone, we are going to discuss about, like, first this, give me 1 minute. Okay, yeah. So tomorrow what we are going to discuss is like entire line chain, okay, entire line chain end-to-end functionality. We will be able to do it. So now to this, I need some help, everyone. So whenever you get some time, right, please install Python in your system. And this is optional. People who are interested in development can be able to do this. I'm not asking everybody to do. Everybody has to do this in Google Colab. This is important. Now this is optional. Optional means people who want to do an end-to-end. Right now, there is no user interface for this, everyone. Whatever you have to do, you have to come to Google Colab and you have to execute it. When I say end-to-end, we will also create a neat, clear user interface where we can interact with it. Let's say, see, this is a Python. Okay, first you have to install the Python in your system. Then, please install the Visual Studio Code. As long as these two things are there, we can easily be able to complete it. Just you have to install Python. So when you install Python, right, there will be one, like let's say there will be something called a set the environment path. Something like this, it will come when you install the Python, the file. Just enable this. Okay, wherever you see set environment path, just enable that part. So where you can install Python, everyone. So you can be able to install the Python from here. I'm sharing the link in the chat, both the links, Python and as well as Visual Studio Code. If it is already there, well and good. You don't need to do anything. Okay, so Python installation. So you can go to the Python. So here it is, you can click on download, it will download the file. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. So let me share this link also in the chat for all of you. Maybe anybody who requires this, you can use it. So I've just shared the Python where you can install it, and then let's say Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code will be the IDE. Okay, we can save some time in the class. So you can download this also. So whichever operating system you are using, you can download. So if it's Windows, you can click on Windows and it will download it. If you're using Ubuntu or Mac, you can click on it and it will be able to help you to download. That's it. So that is how you can be able to go ahead, download your respective Visual Studio Code and then Python. It will be helpful, everyone. That's the reason. Now, once you download the Python file here, once you go ahead and then try to download the Python file from here, right? What I want to let you all know here is, once you download the Python file, okay, you will see, once you say click, click, next, 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 and install, before that, it will show you in the next, next only, set the environment path. Wherever you see set the environment path, just enable that. Simply go ahead and enable that saying set environment path. Just enable it. That's it. Your job is complete. I mean, what it will do is Python will automatically be set up in your system. Now, if I already have Python in my system, if I already have my Visual Studio Code, then what? Then you don't need to do anything. These are the prerequisites to do the application tomorrow end to end, where we will create a user interface and we will create a real chatbot. Today, whatever we created is also real chatbot only. But that is the only thing is it is available on the Google Colab. It's only available in the Google Colab is what we need to understand it. Okay, but whatever tomorrow I'm going to create it with the vector DB, with embeddings, with the text split. Okay, whatever we are going to do tomorrow will be end-to-end application, which we will be able to showcase it, and you can also showcase that as your project also, everybody. So that is what we will target for tomorrow as a first activity. After this is completed successfully, right, then I will give you a quick overview of what is a lang serve, okay, and then we will also see LCEL, LangChain Expression Language. Okay, these two are not very important, LangServe and the LangChain Expression Language, but good to know, because we never know in interviews they may ask any related question. I don't want you to take that risk. So definitely everything will be related to LangChain only, but still we'll try to explore the LangServe and then the LangChain Expression Language. So both of them also, if you are comfortable, right? I mean, you will cover the entire LangChain spectrum. Okay, that's the main idea behind it. And still, if time permits, we will start creating some more AI agents. So we have created only one AI agent here, everyone. Okay, it's not a multi, it's a one single AI agent, which is a resume screener agent, and we are using LangChain as a framework to go ahead, develop, and then do these things appropriately. Okay, hope you all have completed this activity. Hope you all were able to upload your profile and then play around with this data. So this is what I want to cover as part of our today's session, everyone. So with this, we are done with our today's topic. The people who understood all the concepts I explained theoretically, the people who understood the practical part and you have completed it from your end and you were able to execute it successfully. And if you don't have any questions, I would request you to please acknowledge the feedback. And if you really like this session, you can please rate it excellent and you can provide your valuable comments. And you can please feel free to drop off, because I'm not going to explain anything new right now, everyone. Okay, whatever I'm going to take up right now will be the questions, where I'll try to cover the questions one by one very quickly, and we'll try to wrap up the session for today. So whatever topics I mentioned for the agenda tomorrow, we'll stick to them and we'll try to complete. And great job, everyone. Excellent, I would say, because you all were able to go ahead, understand, and then create the agent appropriately, where you can today upload your own profile or your family, peers, or maybe any of your colleagues. You can take your profile, you can analyze and can give them a great report. Okay, so which we were able to complete in Colab. Tomorrow it's going to be pretty exciting because we will create an end-to-end application overall. So that's it, everyone. Great job, all of you. Kudos to all of you. People who want to try later, you can take the code. I've already shared the file. Try it at your leisure time and you try to complete it. Okay, excellent. So let's now quickly move on to the questions, whatever I see. Over to you, Debashish.
Yeah, hi, Prashant. So I have one question. Uh, so, uh, like one, so first question, like I have a doubt with the embedding. So you have cleared that one. So tomorrow we are going to learn that one. And the second one is like this prompt, right? The template. So if you go to the code, so there somewhere you have mentioned like structure this one, structure str output parser, right? So you're not passing any video like, yeah. So how it is working? Like if I'm commenting that one also, I'm getting the same way, like the
Okay.
prompt you have
See,
defined.
structure output parser. See, structure output parser means it's a string actually. str means it's a string basically, Debashish. Okay. So
Mhm.
let's say your LLM is also going to give you a string. Your string output parser also will give you string. What I would suggest is, Debashish, when you get some time, look instead of string, because these LLMs will give string only, right? What you need to do is look for JSON output parser. Okay, JSON output parser or a dictionary output parser. They will turn your result into a JSON pattern altogether. Okay, so these are the different output parsers which are available. String output parser, you may not see the difference because it is string only. At the end of the day, Gemini is also giving me string only. But if you change it into JSON output parser and try to little bit play around, then you will see that your result will be converted into a JSON pattern. That is when you will see a major difference being coming out from the output parser. String output parser will give more or less the same result like what Gemini is actually giving us.
And
This
this
is
prompt you have created, this, yeah, I got it now. So this template, can you come down? Yeah, this template. So you have given the prompt, right? Give a simple analysis with this one. It's code. You ask this one. So you're passing to the LLM this template,
correct,
right?
exactly.
And there, if you could go if you go down there, you have given the input like a resume, job description and resume text. So how it is picking the job description here?
Here,
From the
here I'm providing, no? See, whatever the job description is provided here in the result. I gave the value that this is my job description, and here is where I'm saying, please pass it. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
and
Anything else?
last question. Yeah,
Yeah,
last
yeah, go ahead.
question is like I have one use case. So I'm working in as a telecom engineer. Okay. Yeah, so I am doing some development related to 5G test cases, for example. So I have different scenario and I have call flow. So in my automation, this one I maintain one call flow for each scenario. So these are the like some 20-30 messages I have. So I want to verify those messages with the 3GPP specs. Okay. But in the 3GPP specs, it is combined like the call flow like in a pictorial manner. Like we have the text as well as the flow like flow diagram.
Okay.
Okay. So using this text splitter, it will not help, right, for me.
Using
That
what? What
image
is the class?
text splitter you are using, right, to convert to vectors.
No,
Recursive
no, no.
text
I
splitter.
mean, if we are using your own documents, then it will be helpful. If you are not using your own document and if you're dependent on external source, then it will not help you. But you can try this. The text splitter can help you to split the text and make the AI understand in a better manner and can give you more accurate output than the existing ones. You can just try it
Image
out.
how this
Good.
the document, right? That document have some images actually, and in that images only I have the call flow that I have to match with my call flow
Okay,
what I have
okay.
written.
No, 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 no. Then it will not work. It's not great for images. For images, I already mentioned in the chat. In the main chat, I already provided. So you can go through the variational autoencoders or the generative adversarial network. These are the two models which will be really grateful to go into the image and get the great results, Debashish.
Okay, Prasad, yeah. Let me explore those things. Yeah. Thank you.
Explore and let me know in the upcoming sessions. I'll guide you accordingly. Thank you. Thanks, Debashish. Over to you, Dhimant.
Hello, Prashant sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, audible.
Yeah, today's session is great, really great and helpful. We can screen our resumes, also our friends' resumes, and to build better. It's very great, and we are looking forward to tomorrow's session. My first question is same as previous one. In my document, if I have image, for example, we have photos in resumes. In that case, will it just skip it and just extract the
No,
text?
no, no. It will do it. It will do it. It will process. Okay, it will process the information will it will be very accurate and very great, but still it will.
I'm sorry, your voice is breaking.
Now, as I was saying that it can still process the image. Okay. But the level of accuracy is not with that.
Oh, okay. Understood. So even though if documents, resumes have images, it will process. Got it.
Yes, it will.
Okay. And my second question, you mentioned vector database, alternatives of a vector database. So can you repeat those and will that be taken in tomorrow's session?
First of all, alternative vector database and that part we are going to part of tomorrow's discussion.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, Other than vector database, there are some alternatives you mentioned before, like another applications.
Okay,
I
you
do
want
not
to
know
want
it.
to know about some other database?
Yeah, similar to a vector database.
It's not similar to vector database. In vector database, we have different types. Chroma DB, and then we have graph DB.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
these
So
are
those
the
will be different.
tomorrow
Okay, understood.
when we do the hands-on.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Hemant. Over to you, Shilpa. Shilpa, over to you. Okay. I'm not able to hear you, Shilpa. Vaibhav, over to you.
Hey, so little quick, why we have used the temperature and what do you mean by creativity? What type of creativity will be introduced?
Like
I'm
creativity
still
means
to find that.
creativity here means it's simply just see, for an example, I ask you a question. Okay, let they say there is a one innovative person who thinks little differently. There's a one person who also thinks but gives the answer in a very straightforward way. Okay, so let's say you ask a question, the person will try to give a different, unique perspective for it, and the other person who is there will give a straightforward perspective to it. Same, LLMs are being filtered with temperature. When the temperature is low, like 0, 1, it will give you a consistent and a proper answer, like a normal answers which are there. If your temperature is 0.9 or 1, something like that, creativity means not bringing innovative. Like it will come up with a unique perspective, which we may have not seen or which we may have not faced anywhere. That is a perspective. How unique you want and how consistent you want. You need if you need a consistent one, better to go with 0 or 1 or 0. Sorry, 0.1 or 0.2, 0. 0 to 0.5 is always ideal Viber. Anything let's say more than 0.5, if it will be more innovative means it will try to come up with some random data which has a unique perspective to it and then give to the end user. That's the main idea behind the temperature here, Vaibhav. You understood?
Okay, so that output, what we have defined as an prompt template, that this format should be the output. If I keep changing, then the result will change.
Exactly. Change the temperature continuously here and there and run the cell. You will see that you will see some different results will be coming up. Output will remain the same, but wording and their perspectives will keep changing, Vaibhav. That's the major idea.
Okay, and what we have done in today's work, the same prompt, if I'm going to provide it to any of our existing manually, even the same thing will be performed by them.
Just
So where
you can
LangChain is doing, like if I
That's
go
what
to the
your
prompt,
LangChain. See, basically, your LangChain is
yeah,
trying to
this template
integrate
prompt.
this platform. Okay, no, 1 minute. The LangChain is integrating this entire platform where you are creating your own code and you are trying to configure and play around with the temperature setting and all. You cannot be able to do that, right? So now this template, you can take it, you can upload it, and just see that if it is giving the response, you can do that. Or if you are, see, let's say now I'll create my resume screening agent in my organization. So I need to
Mhm.
integrate with existing LLM. I will create this template. Now people can use this as my application and they can be able to work upon rather than being dependent. Now this is only going for resumes. It's not going to support anything else. Your LLMs are
Mhm.
going to support for any other activities. So tomorrow when I
Mhm.
will create an end-to-end application, right, Vaibhav, you will get a
Mhm.
better idea that how an LLM would, I mean, how your agent will be very helpful when compared to existing LLMs which are already there in the market. So right now, I understand because there's no user interface, right? We may not get that feel of it. So we may think
Mhm.
that okay, let's say that they take the same thing and put it in other LLMs and we'll get the same output. No, you can try around, but here you are creating your own LLM or you are creating so not LLM, you are creating your own AI resume screening agent where you can play around and can get the relevant output whatever we want. So just wait for tomorrow's session, Vaibhav. Tomorrow, once we create the end-to-end agent, right, you will get a very clear overview that why we are creating our own agent rather than integrating or rather than using the same thing in the existing LLMs. So this is to customize and make the things on our own. For the time being, I want to say in one line. Tomorrow we'll get a
Okay.
broader picture to this, Vaibhav.
Okay. But the output will always been defined by last 3, 4 lines, correct? The type of output we are getting it will be defined by that
Providing
prompt.
it here. Yeah, whatever we are
But the
providing you here,
output what we have given, if
Ah.
you go to that third parameter, which is output, can you go to that LLM where we have stitch all three together? Yeah. So this resume text, sorry, no, not this
yeah,
one.
great, great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
here output parser. So this output parser, we have not configured anything. This is a default one. Even if I'm not going to give it, it will give me the
No,
same
no
response.
problem. Yeah, it will not create a problem. Okay.
Okay.
That's what
And the
I
same
said. I answered to the Bashish. Yeah.
got it. And maybe the last thing, if you go at the top, even we are not using that PDF environment package, correct?
PyPDF. PyPDF.
No. Can you go at the top?
Hmm.
Python dot environment. That also not been used in current program, correct? The first line.
Okay. Yeah. Python dot environment will be useful in the environment file. Like let's say right now here I created in my, and tomorrow I'll explain, not right now, but in my dot environment file, whatever API key I will use. So then in that main file, I can call the dot environment. In my Colab, what am I doing? In my Google Colab, I'm putting in my secrets and I'm storing my files. So Python dot environment, if you remove it also, that's not going to create a problem because we don't have a separate environment file over here.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, over to you, Una.
Hey, I have 2, 3 questions. One is I already installed Python, but I don't know whether I turned that environment setting enabled or
That's
not.
okay.
So how do
That's okay. Tomorrow we'll get to
okay.
know if you're facing any issues, then we'll try to face it. I mean, try to utilize it accordingly, Una. Okay.
Okay, and the other thing is both mandatory because I only installed Python, so we needed both Python and Visual Code or any one is fine.
No, Visual Studio Code is also required. Both of them are required. One is IDE, one is the programming language.
Okay.
Both of them are required. Yeah.
Okay, and the other question is related to the temperature that the previous person asked. So when you say temperature, when it is set to 0 to 0.5, then the values are consistent. Did I get that correctly? Because you said I
Sorry?
can have the
Yeah.
temperatures between 0 to 1, right?
Yes. I said temperatures between 0 to 1, correct?
But if the value is somewhere between 0 to 0.5, what does it mean?
Okay, it means it will give you the consistent answer. Every time when you go ahead and run it, Una, it will give you always more or less same consistent answer only. But if you put a value more than that, it will always try to come up with every run you run, it will come up with a different perspective altogether. So
Okay.
that is the only difference.
But in this code that we did not set the temperature, right?
We set the temperature. If you closely observe the code here, the temperature is set here. Okay.
Oh,
Besides
okay,
the
sorry,
model,
I missed it.
we set the
Okay,
temperature. Okay.
Okay.
No problem. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed it. Thank you so
No
much.
worries. No
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah.
Over to you, Pradeep, quickly.
Hi, sir. Sir, yeah, I mean, probably I'm just got confused when you said, tomorrow we'll see end-to-end system. Okay, so what I my question is, see, today what we executed, end-to-end. What I understand, from a limited understanding, we
Correct.
executed, completely.
Exactly.
So when you say
Correct.
end-to-end, tomorrow we'll be doing that. Okay,
Okay,
that's
let
one
me make
question.
it easy. Let me complete off right now only because I have to take a question. End to end means, see, today we did not cover the vector store everywhere. Okay, Pradeep, we did not cover the how to store in the vector store. Okay, we did not cover how the embeddings will work. Okay, so this part is still there. This part is still there, which we will work upon tomorrow. Okay, and then end to end means what? You will create a nice user interface. Right now, whatever upload is you're doing it in the Google Colab. So we'll create a very good user interface, and in that user interface, you can upload the files whatever we want. This is the thing part we will do. Okay.
No problem. A connecting last question. So when you say we did not do vector store and embeddings, okay, but still the program ran, okay, the output what we desired, we got that output, okay. So is it like these two things were working in the background and it was not required in this part of, this part of the, yeah?
Exactly. We did not define it. So whatever default vector store and embeddings which LLM use, it will be stored there. Okay. Now once you create it, you will be having it in your own way. That's it.
Brilliant. Understood. Thank you so much, sir. We'll wait.
No problem. Thank you, Pradeep. Over to you, Sushma.
Hi Prashant. So my question is, I uploaded 7 resumes, but I got only one output. So how did the model detect?
No,
Like, did it combine
because
all 7 resumes?
yeah, it would have done that same, but we have not provided the functionality to upload multiple resumes. Ideally, what happens is, Shushma, so what happens is like you have to go one profile at a time and then take the review from there, Shushma. We have in the program, we don't have right now the flexibility to support multiple profiles. So then what you need to do to your logic, you need to add how can I be able to accommodate multiple files? Like you will have like 3 to 4 choose files options like we have seen here, right? You need to have 3 to 4 choose file options, and then you need to upload all those files, and then LLM will understand, okay, there are different files, let me pick one by one everything, and then we'll give you the output. So it's one at a time is what we need to take. If you keep uploading multiple files, then what it will try to do, it will combine everything and it will not understand, it will get hallucinated at the end of the day, Sushma.
Got it. Like
Got my
in the
point?
real,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm,
But in
mm.
the real world example, like companies
Mm.
will have multiple resumes, right? Like how do
Right.
we ensure if the process is completely automated in terms of even picking the resumes?
I mean, if that is the case, then HRs also will not be there, right, Sushma? You're getting my point, right? So they will be totally replaced. We can do that. We can write an AI agent. Okay, that AI agent only will pick up all the resumes and then will try to filter it, and then it will try to upload, and then it will select the right candidate to the teams, and then they can select those persons and they can go for an interview. Ideally, that process is there, but we don't try to leverage to it. But again, if you want, I can just try to give a little bit overview about it tomorrow. Okay, like where we can have one agent where it can pick up the resumes, or maybe multiple resumes you can select and then can take it further. I'll give you that overview tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And one more question. Can you explain the join condition there where we are saying C dot page content for C dot A chunks?
Ideally, yeah, ideally what happens is, see, the text content gets split, right, like this. Let's say, for an example, what I'm saying here is, my name is XYZ. This is one content which got split into. The next content is, you are good. Okay. Now what happened is XYZ, this is one split. This is one split. Okay. Now we have that overlapping, right? Now what will happen? This overlapping also will come here. Is XYZ, you are good. Okay, this is one sentence, this is one sentence. Now, if you don't join them, if you don't join them, both of them, then how will it come up with the context? It will not understand the context. So you need to join both of them. Okay, my name is XYZ and you are good. So this join is what we are trying to refer there. Whatever the text which is getting split, whatever the text which is getting split, please join them and then make it as one single unit rather than taking it as breaking it as multiple sentences. You understood, Sushma? So we are joining them so that they will have a context at the end of the day when they will be split into multiple text content. That is what we are trying to refer to here as the join process. Okay. So once the split is done, make sure that you keep joining all of them, whatever the split is happening. This blank is nothing but I don't know how the split is happening. So take all that split, join them to the content, and then remove extra spaces and make sure that it is having the proper output at the end of the day. That is the main intention behind it. Clear, or
Got
any
it.
more questions over here?
No, I think I'm good. Got it.
So, thank you,
It's
Shishma.
helpful. Thank you so much.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Harshvardhan. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Shishma. Over to you, Harshvardhan.
Yeah, I've got just one question regarding this.
Mm.
I mean, connecting to external things, right? Because in my organization, we have built up a use case like connecting to using the MCP. So will you be also going through MCP like model context protocol?
Yeah, that will cover at the end. Okay. At the last sessions,
Okay,
we'll talk about the MCP and all. Okay.
okay, correct, got it. And there's
But
one more
hopefully
question
we
like
will
tomorrow
discuss.
we'll be learning. Sure, thank you. And tomorrow we'll be learning the complete AI. I mean, from
User
an
interface.
interface perspective also, user
Ah,
interface
correct,
perspective
correct.
also.
Yes, exactly. So that you'll also get the feel of the user interface also, right? It will be easier. That's the main intent. Okay.
Oh, okay, got it, got it. Okay,
Thank you,
thank you.
Harshvardhan. Over to you, Sastri.
Sir, while I'm executing the code which you provided, it is giving error at one of the package level. Uh,
What did you say?
What is that? That one. It is from langchain underscore community dot
Here, here.
document loader.
You need to execute this. At the bottom, I ran one command here. Okay. You need to run this.
Can which command, sir? Okay, okay.
You already have seen the file which I shared it to you. You are in that Google Colab file only, right, Sastri? At the bottom, once the main code is done, at the bottom, I have ran one command here. You need to run this. Pip install langchain community.
Okay, instead of running this command, I can keep this command in the very first of the program.
That is also fine. Right? That is also fine. You can do either of the ways. Why I did it in separate cell, when I ran my code, I got an error saying langchain community error. So then what I did, instead of putting it there, I ran one more time the command to install this. That's it. But otherwise you can do in that way also, Sastri.
To get to know the exact error usage of.
Correct.
And like you asked us to install this Visual Studio Code and then Python. So that is used for tomorrow doing the entire experiment, right?
Exactly. That's the main idea.
Okay, sir. That's it from me.
Thank you, Sastri.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Over to you, Shilpa. Okay, don't see Shilpa. Over to you, Vineet. Okay, Vineet and Shilpa, anybody?
Yeah. Prashant, thank you. Today's session was really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vineet.
So, Prashant, a quick question. Probably two questions. The first is like, suppose there is an Excel sheet which contains a lot of profile of multiple people, right? And we need to identify the best fit in that. So, we'll use pandas, or like how will we proceed with that?
Okay, so to upload a CSV file and filter out like the relevant
candidates. Suitable candidates.
I'll share the relevant code for tomorrow where you can practice that from your end. Our code only supports the documents. For that, you need to get the PyPandas and then the relevant libraries. Those libraries will support your CSV where it can analyze and then can bring in the right profile based on the description, whatever you're going to provide, your job description, Vineet. Okay?
Okay. So we'll need to use pandas and then that will use a different set of code.
Exactly. The libraries will change and the configuration will little bit change, but the logic will still remain the same. Okay. I'll share you tomorrow. Just remind me so that I can help you out. You can experiment, and if there are any questions, you can feel free to let me know.
Thank you so much. The second question is like, if, as we discussed, right? Like if somebody needs to search profile from say LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn or Naukri, right? So we'll need to use their APIs, right? In that case.
Yeah, correct. In that case, you need to use their API, their URL, and integrate with them, and then you have to take the data from them. That's it.
So we'll be learning integration with APIs as well. Right?
That is what we're doing, right? We're already integrating with APIs. If you see here, instead of LinkedIn, instead of the other companies, we're using the API keys of
Google API. Okay.
That is the API. So this is the same mechanism. They will use it for different integrations. That's it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Thank you, Vineet.
Thank you so much, Prashant.
No problem. Over to you, Veera Raghavarao. Raghavarao, are you there? Okay. Over to you, Shilpa.
Hi. Finally, I can speak. I don't know what happened. I was not able to get unmute.
Sure. No
okay. So, very quick one. So, this whatever the code you are sharing, I don't see in the LMS portal yet. You will be uploading there soon.
Yeah, we need to upload it in the LMS portal. Whatever the documents I've shared right now in the main chat, you can access it from there. Okay.
So previous session also the code. How do I access?
I have shared in the main chat now. In the main chat, you already have the day 2 session files also been uploaded there.
No. So now, like previous session chats, I don't have the access. So I want
chat,
to go.
Not chat. In the main chat right now only. In the today's main chat only, I uploaded the day 2 document fully. Whatever we covered in the previous class also.
Okay, and this chat then after this session will not be accessible?
No, that is where I'll upload it in the LMS portal again. From there also you can access it. Okay, once the
Somehow
class
I
is
don't know what's wrong. Actually, I'm not able to say. I clicked on the chat.
main
I'm
chat.
not able to main
1
chat.
minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me. Shilpa. Okay, 1 minute. Shilpa, right? Shilpa Agarwal, right? Okay.
Yes.
Let me share it very quickly to you. Whatever we have done. I'm just sharing it personally to you. Just
Okay.
download those files. Just sent one.
Okay, I got it. One.
And then this is a day 2 session. Just sending it one more time. Another
Okay.
session. Okay, I just sent both of you. You can access them. Okay. This is
Okay.
where our
And
code
you'll
is.
be upload. Yeah, and you will also be uploading into
The
the chat.
EduReka team will upload it directly there. Okay.
Got it. I tried to execute. I don't know. Like I mean, a few minutes back, during the break, it was saying me the package not found.
So that's what. Like at the bottom you have here the LangChain community which is there, right? You need to install that. LangChain in the
Okay.
in the Google file what I shared. If you just follow those steps one by one, it will not throw the error. Okay.
I just
Whatever
click
the
on the
steps I
run
have shared.
actually. So how? I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
so
What happens here
hmm,
is like you have here this command. First you run the second cell here. This one. Pip install
hmm,
LangChain community. First you run this.
yeah.
Once you run
Okay.
this, then you run your code. What we are doing is first we are running the code. It's saying LangChain community module is not there. So first you run the LangChain community model and then you run the above one. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Fine.
Thank you, Shilpa.
Thank you.
Yeah. One last question for today. Over to you, Vinay.
Hi Prashant. Just now the Shushma asked some question, no, like multiple resume analysis. I have just changed the code and I shared the link to you.
Excellent.
I
Wait,
already,
wait.
yeah,
1 minute.
yeah.
Vinay. Vinay Kumar is right. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let me try to open this. Thanks for helping out there, Vinay. Let me just see this. Sushma, are you there? I need access actually. Viewer access, I can access for you. I've requested the access. Maybe you can share it to me. I think Sushma has left. Maybe I'll just have a look into it, Vinay. And if that works out, maybe we'll share the same to her tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Maybe it'll be useful. But great job by completing that activity. You can give me the access. I just send the request to you over the mail. Okay?
I shared it.
Oh, you shared? Great. Okay. Let me. Right. Yeah, I am able to. Okay, I have to download it. Fine. I'll download it and we'll have a look into it for sure. Okay?
Okay, yeah. Here the job description also it is asking from the user input, so we can give any job description.
Exactly. That's right. Yep. Perfect. Thank you, Vinay. Thanks, everyone. So with this, we are done with our today's session, everyone. So yeah, just make sure that you go ahead and keep practicing all of these things. And we are done with our today's session. Tomorrow, I've already set up the agenda. We'll go through all of them one by one. And thank you once again for all your time. Please make sure that you acknowledge the feedback as it is very important for me. If you really like the session, you can please rate it excellent and you can provide your valuable comments to me. So that is it for our today's session, everyone. Have a great time and we will again go ahead and then proceed further with the remaining concepts as part of our tomorrow's discussion. Okay, and I will also try to upload the files in the LMS portal so that you all can be able to utilize it. I'll ask the EduReka operations team to do it and they will be able to assisting you all to support those documents. Bye-bye, take care everyone. Okay, have a great day. We will meet again in the tomorrow's session with further topics and concepts. Bye.